Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. Welcome your Prem Focus debate. Today, we got plenty of talking points. The Carragher comments on Afcon, we want to discuss that. Is Afcon actually a big tournament or not? Is it right to call Jamie Carragher that racist because he called the Afcon not a big tournament? Mohamed Salah Ballon d'Or, of course. Liverpool loading the 20th title against Newcastle. Arteta is not giving up on the league title, which is, I don't know why he would say that. Why would he give fans hope? Will Spurs have a better season than Arsenal if they win Europa League? That is another discussion that we're going to have after 5 years with Mikel Arteta. Of course, we're joined by the Fenerbahce guy, of course, with the Mourinho incident. I saw your tweets. Big up with the trim, Mohamed Salah, of course. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button if you're here with us now. Hit that like button if you're watching us on the replay before you go on and enjoy the show. Vote. Where are you tuning in from? We got more votes than actually likes, so hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. And here we are with Don Husam, of course. Ashraf Talks Football and Durag Dari. Everyone looks so... Why you all like? Look at Salad smiling. He just joined the team. He's smiling, bro.
Nah, because I was reading the comments and someone said, Salad, say sorry to Salah and Liverpool.
Would you say sorry to them? You said they're going to finish 6th.
Yo, you know what the crazy thing is? Last time I was on your show, I apologized to Chelsea. Do you remember that? And then they've fallen off a cliff since. They were competing for the title last time. And now they might finish where I actually said they'll finish. So...
What about Liverpool then?
So apologize to Liverpool. What are you waiting for, bro?
Exactly.
Jinx them as well. Jinx them as well, inshallah. Jinx them as well.
I apologize, Liverpool. Do you know what it is? Liverpool, everything just fell in place for Liverpool this year. Everything just fell perfectly in place for them. And it just made sense.
What?
You know what I'm trying to do? Yeah.
What do you mean fell in place? I'm sorry.
They happen to be in a situation where they've got very good players, right? Salah, Van Dijk. They suffered no injuries. Man City have fallen off. Arsenal have all these injuries. So they're basically going to the Premier League without any sort of competition. You know what I'm saying? The closest competition is Arsenal, who are playing Mikel Merino up front. You feel me? Obviously, they deserve the Premier League. They've been the most consistent team. They've been a good team. But what do you mean, what the fuck? I'm making a very good point. They've got no challenges. So everything went their way.
No, you aren't. You're making a top gunner point. That's what you're making. You're not
literally, yes.
I'll tell you why you're not making a good point. Because I could go back to every single league title that's ever been won in football history and just go like, everything went their way. This other team that could have won the league, this didn't happen for them, and this didn't happen for them. Case in point, Manchester City league titles with the Rodri handball, Manchester City league titles with all of Liverpool's injuries and VAR decisions last season. We could go there. Wallahi, you know what? If I micro-analyze every league title, we'll be here forever.
You're missing the point completely.
I can make the inter-league title that they won under Inzaghi, by the way. Everything went their way. They got 91 points. The other teams were all crap. A league title that you won, everything went your way.
Okay, but you're
so now
missing
what?
The point.
You want to know the problem in this argument? Let me tell you on one statement.
No, but you're arguing something. I'm not arguing.
I'll mute my mic and then I'll let you respond. You want to know the problem? Let me tell you one statement.
You're arguing a point I'm not even making.
No, I am making the same argument. I'll tell you one statement, then I'll mute my mic and talk for 5 minutes. You want to know the problem with this argument from an Arsenal perspective? I'm not even being disingenuous. Everything went Arsenal's way for a period of 2 years with injuries, with all of that shit, and they won nothing. That's the problem.
Yeah, but Arsenal don't have players as good as yours, though. If Arsenal had a Mo Salah or a Van Dijk or a Trent Alexander,
you didn't say that in the summer.
Okay, first and foremost, Mo will tell you in the summer. I was saying these Liverpool teams are so good, and they're not that far from winning the league. Last year, you had some injuries. The year before,
yeah, but Arsenal back-to-back years finished ahead of Liverpool. So what is the excuse then?
Because as I said, Liverpool had injuries. Liverpool had other issues. But if
even with injuries,
together, Liverpool are a better team than Arsenal.
What is that?
What?
Can you explain to me what does that mean? Other things. What are other things? Good football. Liverpool play good football.
Injuries are a massive part of it. Obviously, with Klopp leaving halfway through the year, they were in pole position to win the league last year as well. They were winning the league last year too, and then they dropped some points, etc., etc. But Liverpool are a better team than Arsenal. The only reason Arsenal are even in this position is because of their coach, and I strongly believe that this Arsenal team have no quality whatsoever. There's no reason a team that has Kai Havertz, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus as your starting options should be competing for a league title.
You're being disingenuous now, though, because if you
listen, I've always made that clear in it. I've said the reason that Arsenal are good and the reason they have been competing is because of the defensive structure, the defensive players that they have, and some individual brilliance from.
No, but then you just said that Arsenal don't have top quality players, and then you just named like three of the worst players in your lineup. But then you failed to acknowledge
you missed out a keyword. You missed out a keyword. I said attacking players. I said they lack attacking quality.
He's not an Arsenal fan, by the way, Jordz.
I'm not an Arsenal fan, by the way. I'm not an Arsenal fan.
I'm not talking about him being an Arsenal.
Because you said 3 players from your lineup, so I thought you thought.
I'm just the lineup that you mentioned.
But when I mention these players, I'm talking about the attacking quality. Arsenal have no attacking quality outside of Saka. None of their attackers are worthy of being in a, let alone a Premier League fight. None of these players are top 4 quality, in my opinion, and they're still managing to get it done. So it's not a surprise that Liverpool, when they click, are better. Liverpool has 6 attackers.
Would you not say the same about Liverpool's attackers outside of Salah? Haven't been amazing this season. You could say Gakpo's improved.
But Salah is a different caliber, though. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Saka's not.
I know, but take away Salah, then look at the rest of their attack. Darwin Núñez, Diego Jota, Gakpo, and Diaz. They're not.
Núñez, Gakpo, and Diaz would be 10 times better than anything Arsenal have to show for it. And that's just a fact.
I don't think that is
like
a fact.
Gakpo, first of all, Gakpo's had a good year this year. I think Gakpo, and I've always rated Gakpo. Gakpo is a million times better than Martinelli. And Núñez, Kai Havertz, it's kind of debatable. Jota as well is another option. Like they've got a plethora of options who are significantly better than anything Arsenal have to offer.
I disagree with you.
No, I agree with you to an extent.
I can tell you how. The midfield of Arsenal, supposedly based on the last 2 years.
Anything about the midfield? I literally said the midfield, and
it's part of the drill, though. The midfield and the defense. Alisson has been injured half the season. Husam can tell you, Alisson missed 13 games or something like this season. Arsenal, Raya hasn't missed a game. Kala is not Raya. Saliba and Gabriel, Calafiori, Timber have played this season. Lewis Kelly is a youngster. They have Robertson and Simicas. Trent has been injured. You're never going to let us talk. Salah, you're never going to let us talk.
Because you're lying.
It's like, I'm not lying. Why? It's an opinion. Well, how am I lying? It's an opinion. How am I lying?
No. See, this is what you do. An opinion is Calafiori is good, Calafiori is not good. You can't say Calafiori and Timber have been playing consistently. That's not true. They've been injured. That's factually incorrect. They've both spent a decent amount of time injured. The only two constants in that team was Saliba and Gabriel that have started most games. But we carry on.
Is that not? considered the best centre.
Timber hasn't been injured that long. Timber hasn't been injured that long.
I mean, we can get the numbers out.
Trent has been injured this season. Conor Bradley has been injured this season. What I'm going to tell you is that, yes, Saka has been injured, but Saka has been injured just lately. Before that, Arsenal were not top. Arsenal was still... By the way, Arsenal have trailed Liverpool 9 points behind with Saka in the team. With Saka in the team. With Kai Havertz, who's a choice by Arsenal to be the starting forward. With Trossard and Martinelli on the left.
Bro, can I ask you a question? What point are you arguing right now? What point are you debating?
I'm arguing that your point of that Liverpool have significantly a better team, that is just based on what we're seeing this season, not based on what we're seeing last season. Because last season, Arsenal...
And not based on anything Salad said last year either. I promise you didn't say anything.
And the reason why it doesn't
who is
count
better?
well, yeah.
Can I ask one question? Who was better last season, guys? Overall. Arsenal or Liverpool?
Arsenal were a better team, but Liverpool have always had better players. I mean, that's never been a debate.
No,
and I've had this conversation on your podcast before.
No, but you're saying the players have been better. But if you just take a look at the past 2 seasons in particular, you could make the argument that Arsenal's players have performed to a higher level and a better level than Liverpool players across the full season. Their attack was more better than Liverpool's across the last 2 seasons.
I don't think Arsenal ever, I mean, we can check that.
Their attack scored 100 goals just the season before last, and everyone was talking about how good attackingly they are and about how Arteta statistically has scored more goals ever than any other Arsenal manager had. So their attack.
Are you talking about a couple years ago where they
past
had
2 seasons?
Yeah. So that's
they finished second.
And not a single player scored more than 20 goals. That's because they've contributed, like Gabriel scoring 6 goals, Ben White.
You know how many goals the forward scored this season? Mohamed, do you know how many goals Gakpo and Diaz scored? 8 or 9 done.
But do you know how many Mo Salah has contributed to?
That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying. There's a caliber of players, bro. No matter how good Saka is, Mo Salah's on a different level. Mo Salah's an all-time great, playing the best football of his career. If you just put in those...
So are you saying that Salah's the difference between the 2 teams, or that... Because you're basically... Because what the point that it seems like...
If you say Salah, wallahi, I'm with him.
I think everyone here would agree if you say the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool is Salah. But what you're saying is no, the players in general are a lot better, which I don't think is true.
I said the attacking options. First of all, Salah, I'm not even talking about Salah. You put Salah in any of the top 6 teams and they probably compete for a Premier League. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like that's a completely different discussion. But even the other options, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota are better than Martinelli and Havertz. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not talking about the rest of the team. I don't know why Mo's talking about the midfield. And I'm talking about the attacking options.
Because it's part of the football.
I understand, but they have no attackers. There's never been a Premier League winner in the last 20, 30 years that have had a mediocre attack. None. And if they have, they've had an all-time great player like Mo Salah. When Liverpool win the league this year, they won't remember the other attackers. They'll remember the Wayne Rooney type player, the Mo Salah type player, the Henry type. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but anyway, that's...
Okay, I was listening. So the whole point, I was listening to the 2 points that I want to speak about. I was listening to LB and Dan Potts on the Football Terrace, and they were talking about what people said changing the goalpost for Arsenal this season. And Rory said that yesterday about I'm writing off this season because of the circumstances and the context. So basically, Arsenal, some of the Arsenal fans, I'm not saying all Arsenal fans, are assuming that the season didn't happen. And let's go to next season. Let's go to what is going to happen next season. They're writing off this season. Is that fair to do with this Arsenal team? Write off this season for Arsenal. Write off this season, and it never happened. Go to next season. Give Arteta another year. I'm going to say that Arteta will stay at Arsenal, right? Arteta will stay. There's no debate here. But is it fair to say that Arsenal this season never happened for Arsenal? And you start next season from the starting point of last season. Isn't that the same thing as they said to Martinelli, that he's going to replicate 2 seasons ago, and last season was a write-off for him? And big up, before we go on, big up everybody that joined. Before we go on, big up everybody that joined us on the Football Terrace. Guys, if you're here, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button before we go. We have 600 people in the house. So let's get to 300 likes. Hit that like button. All these guys' channels are in the description. Durak Diaries, of course, Don Husam, all of you guys know. Ashraf talks football as well. Mohamed Salah on Twitter, of course, does all the NFL talk and also talks very well. You were in the Arsenal game, I know that. The other day.
Yeah.
I know. Guys, get me to 30k subs. But is it fair to say that Arsenal should write off the season, Ash? Because it's circumstantial.
I mean, I don't know, man. I guess it depends on which fan you speak to. I think with some, I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate and understand what these other fans are saying. I don't think it's the same as saying Martinelli bad season and all, because that's different. I think they're basically giving context of what Salad was saying about a lot of injuries, a lot of issues. We didn't really sign a striker this Jan, so we're gonna go correct that this summer. If you believe what the club and the board and the manager are saying. So I guess from that perspective, I understand why they're saying it, because there's nothing for us to play now. There's nothing for us to play for now, realistically at least. For me personally, it's the opposite. I actually look at it as this is actually a season that for me determines how I look at next season. Because look, I hear what Salad is saying. I think injuries 100% played an impact. I'm not going to say they didn't. And last time, remember on your show, I said it's probably in one of the top 3 issues. But the only thing for me is the reason why I don't hold it, like I don't use it in that kind of sense, is because I don't think it's the top reason or the second reason why we didn't win the league this season. And that's why for me personally, this season kind of determines how I would look at next season. And that is if Arteta stays. And I rate him. I think he's a good manager. I would never ever call him a shit manager. He's done a fantastic job to take us from where we were. But in my opinion, I just think there are certain games this season where we have seen, like, unfortunately, a ceiling of his that doesn't allow him to go to that next level and win the league. And that's why for me, if he stays in the summer, I personally don't think he'll be able to win as a league next season, especially if City do end up having the transfer window that we expect them to have.
If Arsenal go next season without the hope of that they are not favourites, all of this is for nothing. I'm being honest.
I don't think we can be favourites next season. No way.
You should be. You were favourite this season. See, you were favourite this season.
But there's a difference, though. There's a difference.
Allah, I know Husam has his mic muted. Me and Husam has done all summer on his channel, on this channel, MHF. We're saying, based on how Arsenal ended last season, they should go to this season as favourites to win the Premier League because of how the team ended the season last year.
But you just answered your own point. You said based on how we ended last season, the way we're ending this season, how could we go favourites into next season?
So why is Arteta staying? So why is Arteta? If Arsenal aren't going favourites next season, why is Arteta staying then?
Okay, okay, I'm going to answer that as if I'm the board, because you're asking me why he's staying. So I'm going to tell you what he's thinking. The board is probably thinking, this guy has done a fantastic job with us. This season, he has reasons and circumstances. I don't think he should be given those circumstances, because him signing Havertz was his decision. Him signing Calafiori and Merino before signing a striker was his decision. But I think the board are looking at it as, actually, we have done fantastic in defense. We've done fantastic in midfield. If the only thing left is the attack, let's go address it this summer. And because of the good job he's done over the last 4 years, we can go again next season and we can compete. Because now we would have finished second 3 times in a row. You know, one guy said this, big up to Souls. I've disagreed with him on the Arteta thing. But one thing he said does make sense. It's very difficult for a top club team to sack a manager after they finish second in 3 consecutive seasons, unless you're a Real Madrid or Barcelona. I get it.
Especially if you've been nowhere near a title for about 10 years, by the way.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
You were nowhere
crazy, actually.
And
I'm not saying I agree with it, because for me personally, and this is where I disagree with Salad a little bit. I mean, I know he mentioned Martinelli and Havertz specifically, but I think in every other position, we actually have quality players. I remember when you guys asked me, how many players are there in your starting 11 that are title-winning, capable players? And I said, in my opinion, 8. And I literally excluded Martinelli, I excluded the left wing, I excluded the striker, and I even excluded the left back, which actually this season hasn't been bad. Lewis Kelly has been decent. Calafiori, I think, in some games has been decent. Every other player that's in a starting 11, in my opinion, Rice, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, the entire back four and the keeper, I think are good enough to win a league title. If we add a world-class striker or a top-quality striker and a top-quality left winger. But
I think you could carry on with Havertz as your striker if you get an elite left winger. I think because of I think you, but that's just my opinion. I think if you can get a Nico Williams, a Rafael Leao, a player of that ilk, that caliber, you could do well with Havertz up front, because Chelsea want to
Salad, that makes sense.
Neither of those players. No, but the thing is,
I'd rather Arsenal not. You know what I'm trying to say? I'd rather you get a good striker and an elite left winger. But I'm saying if you had to pick one or the other, I think getting an upgrade on Martinelli is a bigger.
I actually disagree. Because I think between Martinelli and Trossard, if I just look at that left wing position, forget who's playing there, I know I can get like 15-20 GA from that left wing. Martinelli and Trossard combined together. striker, no matter who I play there, Havertz or Jesus, I cannot get the quality output I need, which is 20 goals, let's say, and maybe 5, 6, 7 assists from whoever plays, Jesus or Havertz, or even both of them combined. That gets me that kind of output. I think between Martinelli and Trossard, we can maybe make that switch here and there. Whoever's in form, play him. Whoever's not in form, bring him off the bench. Whereas striker, we actually have no one. And your thing works if Havertz is the kind of player that Jesus was 2 years ago, who drops deep, can create, can pass, can dribble past 3-4 people and create for the wingers. Havertz cannot do any of that. He doesn't assist. He doesn't create. He doesn't give through balls. So it doesn't work having just a winger and having Havertz up top, in my opinion.
That's a valid
I have
point.
let me do the couple of these super chats.
Let me do. When he does this face, he just comments on bullshit. But anyway,
why are you calling me out, bro? You're a brother, bro. Why are you calling me out?
You, bro. I was here when you first started. I know when you do these faces, I know what you're about to come up with. The super chat saved them. He was about to come with some bullshit.
This revisionism of Arsenal team is insane. Coop really put this Arteta next Pep opinion in the mud, and it's rattled his fam boys. Facts, to be honest.
I mean,
Big up, Sean.
It is revisionism. It's definitely revisionism. It's revisionism.
No, I'm saying okay, I would
straight out. Yes, facts.
You know, I'm a big Arteta fan, right? 100%.
We all know.
I love Arteta. Yeah, okay, cool. What's up? I didn't ask.
We can tell. Definitely being chilly with a girl.
We all know.
I'm a massive Arteta
that's
fan.
more Arsenal 86. Big up.
And I said at the start of the season, there's no excuses for him not to win the league. But then when you I was at the game on Saturday, when you see how much they're struggling with Merino up front, Raheem Sterling's your only option off the bench, like you can kind of understand. I mean, so do you know the whole writing off point? I can understand if some fans want to, because it's
Did you say this about Liverpool last year?
Husam's about to lose his shit.
Was there any one second? No.
Did you say this about Liverpool last year? I know you.
One sec, Mo, Husam. Wallahi, if Mo Salah spent a significant amount of time injured, wallahi, billah,
but you just said you can't compare Salah to any player in Arsenal.
Yeah, you see how he didn't answer the question? Yeah, Habibi, last season Liverpool had 15 injuries. Did you say the reason why we didn't win the league is the fucking injuries?
No.
Players were injured.
By the way, neither did Husam.
One second. Everyone just chill. Everyone just chill. Just give me 1 second, yeah? None of our important players got injured. Mohamed Salah made a fantastic point. So let me tell you, Liverpool injury list in March of 2024. Salah, hamstring. Nunes, leg muscle. Szoboszlai, hamstring. Gravenberch, ankle. Endo, ankle. Alisson, hamstring. Curtis Jones, ankle. Trent, knee. Jota, knee. Thiago, hip. Bajcetic, groin. Matip, one second. Yeah, Habibi, I've let you off for 20 minutes. I'll let you off for 20 minutes. Let me talk. It's not just because you make a point and I'm debunking it, you get angry. So, this is how much they missed last season. Matip, 28 games. Bradley, 27. Tsimikas, 25. Jota, 17. Konate, 16. Jones, 15. Robo, 15. Gravenberch, 13. Trent, 13. Alisson, 10. Gomez, 7. Salah, 7. Szoboszlai, 6. McAllister, 6. 3/4 of my team injured. Who the fuck did I take to Wembley? Jayden Dance, Bobby Clark, or a bunch of kids beating Pochettino's Chelsea in a Carabao Cup final. Of course, Van Dijk scored the header, but 3/4 of the players on the pitch were literally just children. Kelleher was a net even. So what we were not going to do is sit up here and change our energy. I hate when people change their energy. Yakhimi, last season I sat here as a Liverpool fan and I said, we need to do better. We need to buy better. We need better squad depth. Nunes is not good enough. Guess what? A year later, he's still not fucking good enough. Diaz is. I had a conversation about Diaz more at the start of the season. Wanted to gaslight me to apologize. 2 months later, he came back and said, "Husam, you were right about Diaz." At the end of the day, when you're not good enough, you already know. You watch your team, you see who's not good enough. Yeah, Habibi, this season, I don't even want to go back last year. I want to make Salad's life easier. Let me tell you something from this season. There is no need for us to go back to this season. This season, I will give you right now here, because me see with me, I come prepared. So I will give you now 4 instances where Arsenal had 0 injuries, 0 controversies, and they dropped points. And what Liverpool did after. So, number 1, the Newcastle loss at St. James's Park. 0 injuries, 0 controversies. Liverpool beat Brighton.
Odegaard injured. Odegaard was not there that game.
Look at this guy.
You can't say
Odegaard's been
zero.
bad all
And then
season. So
when I
Odegaard's
bring you
been
the
there and
captain-
not done much.
No, I'm just saying, Husam, I agree with your point. Just don't say zero.
Yeah, Habibi,
That's all
ما
I'm
هو
saying.
Alisson got injured. يعني خلاص, don't be disingenuous. We're talking about the attack thing.
No. He's not being.
No.
You said zero, and
You
then you
said
brought
zero,
out the captain.
Husam.
Like you can't
Okay,
do that.
guys,
You can't.
I'm
do
talking about the attack all being there. Happy now? So,
the attack,
Newcastle
okay.
lost. Chelsea draw at Stamford Bridge. Odegaard came on. The revolutionary. Odegaard came on. Liverpool beat Aston Villa
He
the day
assisted
after.
our goal.
The Fulham draw. All of them fit. Draw to Fulham. Everton at home. Sean Dyche. All of them fit. Draw to Everton. طب يا حبيبي, there are examples this season and the year before and the year before of the Arsenal team being fit and they still drop points. يا أخي, last season when Liverpool lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace at home and they lost to Aston Villa 2-0, was anyone injured? Wasn't Saka there? Wasn't Odegaard there? The problem is you guys never look at the underlying metrics, the stuff that doesn't show up sometimes on the stat sheet. I want to ask everyone a genuine mental question. يا أخي, we all have played sports to a small degree. I am not a former Liverpool academy player or anything, but we've all at least played some form of sport. Tell me why every single time, Salad, there's no need for like shit digs. Anyway, tell me why every single time we dropped points, the game after Arsenal dropped points. Give me a genuine logical explanation right now. West Ham at home. If us four met on the Friday, one day before the West Ham game, wallahi, we would have all predicted Arsenal win, including myself. Because West
went
Ham
to the game knowing the art.
because West Ham are fucking awful and they're
I went to the game 'cause I was
16th.
invited to the game. I mean, like,
And you knew that. What were your predictions before the game? Arsenal win, regardless of the
I was
circumstance.
hoping that Arsenal win. Then I looked at the lineup and I was like, Marino up front. This is looking sticky.
Yeah,
Bro, you
maybe
even
if
saw my
Merino
video-
missed.
You even saw my video before the game saying Arsenal's number 9 apparently. And he was taking a piss.
No, I saw the tweet in the middle of the game when you said Arsenal about to get fucked again by the referee, and Lewis Kelly was rightfully sent off.
I'm not gonna lie. From where I was sitting, it didn't look like a red card. I mean, they don't show replays of that on the. They don't show VAR replays in stadium, so I just thought it was a little tug down at the halfway line. It didn't. But anyway,
Let me finish this over because I have a different argument completely, by the way, about this, based on what we just said. For Arsenal, glass half full. Everyone else, all empty. Fair, Sean. Absolutely. Always look at the bright side. Big up, guys. If your team will win the league, raise your hand if your team will win the league. Right here, me, Husam. Yes, big up.
Inshallah.
Raise your hand if your team will win the league. Sonra say, no, you can't play to win. You will never win. Can't play to win, then you never win. I don't understand this, Sonra.
I don't
What does that
understand
mean?
either.
I don't understand it, Sonra, to be honest. I just don't. HG, big up HG. He's saying Havertz was bought as an 8, but failed miserably. Put him as our striker. Arteta wanted Moreno and Calafiori, but didn't buy an attacker. Salad, did you know that Arteta wanted Cisco? Arteta out.
does that not? What do you mean, Salah? Yeah, if he wanted Sesko, that means he wanted a decent striker. I mean,
No. Here is the argument, though. We knew that because Havertz ended the season very well, and Ash can attest to this, that if Cisco came to Arsenal, he would have to earn his spot as the striker, and Havertz was going to be. That was the whole argument of Cisco, Salad. If they went for Osimhen or Gyökeres or Isak last summer, we knew that they don't rate Havertz as a striker, and they wanted a starting striker. The fact that they want Cisco tells me that they wanted Havertz as a starting striker, and they wanted someone to be the understudy for him.
To be fair,
everyone agree?
To be fair, back to what Ashraf was saying at the start, the way Arsenal ended the season last year gave him optimism for this year. The reason Arsenal ended the second half of the last season the way they did was because Havertz was firing and he looked very, very good. Arsenal went the entirety of the second half of the season dropping just 4 points with Havertz as their starting number 9. You feel me? So you can understand why that was the thinking and the logic behind that.
Let me Arsenal season ends March 12th when PSV knocks them out. Redline Teranga is so adamant that PSV will knock Arsenal out.
It can happen.
So
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I watched that PSV Juventus game and they were open. I mean, Juventus are terrible, but the way PSV were playing was really, really fun to watch, bro. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah,
And
they can definitely knock us out.
They could give Arsenal some problems, man. Definitely.
Son Rahir responded and said, no to writing off the season, always play to win, which is what Arteta said in the press conference. But a lot of Arsenal fans know that they aren't going to win the league.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are upset at him for saying that. What is he supposed to do? Yeah, guys, give up.
Like,
there's no way I can win. Like, come on, guys.
What do you want him to say?
Yeah.
Nothing. Over my dead body is not. Wallahi, I'm the only sane Somali who doesn't love Arteta. 5 years, 101 trophies since COVID. Now Arteta with his squad ain't won jack shit. Me and Jordz were speaking behind, and I saw an Instagram story yesterday evening about. Let me just explain to you the point. Because Arsenal have been second for 3 years now, we know that most logically Arsenal will be second this year. And I want the people in the chat to hear this argument. And me and Jordz were discussing it before we came on live. Tottenham Hotspur are favorites to win the Europa League. So if Tottenham Hotspur finish 8th or something, or 9th, and win the Europa League, isn't that a better season than the Arsenal finishing second again, because it has been 3 years? Isn't that a logical statement to say that they won a trophy, both will be in the Champions League next season? Isn't that better than the Arsenal season? The reason why I'm saying this is that Arsenal have stagnated. You're stagnant. It's not like your first year you fell off the title race. In the second year, you went on to challenge for the last day of the season. You had a chance. The last game week, you had a chance of winning the title. But this season, basically, the league is over now in February. It can be over tomorrow. We all know that. And if Spurs go on, Man United go and win the Champions League, especially Spurs, because they are in a winning run, isn't that a better season than Arsenal season? Both of them starting the next point next season. Is that something to say?
For me, I don't think so. Obviously,
I feel like any team that wins a trophy ahead of Arsenal and they don't this season has had a better years than Arsenal. We have to be honest, whether the trophy's an FA Cup, Carling Cup, or a Europa League. Definitely a Europa League. I think a Europa League is a competition that Arsenal haven't won. Yeah. Like Arteta would bite your hand off to have a Europa League.
But we are not in it this season.
Yes,
I know.
Yes, Kevin.
I know. I understand, and I'm not making the point that you should win the Europa League, of course. But I think the point is that if any team, if Tottenham or Manchester United, no matter where we finish, win a Europa League, it would eclipse what Arteta has done across the last couple of years. Because ultimately, you guys have tried and failed, and winning trophies is the currency of football.
Jordz, can I interject? I wouldn't have said that last season because it was progression for Arsenal. But this season, yes. Does that make sense, people?
I agree because the aim for Arsenal at the start of this year was to win the league.
Yes, not to challenge.
I think Arsenal have regressed this year, personally. I think they've regressed a little bit this year, mainly due to injuries, mainly due to not strengthening the team. For various reasons, they've regressed. So there's no debate about that. And if Tottenham win the league, they would have had a better season than any team in England outside of the team that wins the Premier League, which is Liverpool. Like
I wouldn't say that. For example, I'm gonna give you examples of teams that I think will be having a better season than Spurs. For example, if Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth finishing the Champions League spots and Spurs finish 8th or 9th.
Like if Bournemouth finishes 6th, for example, is a magnificent season. But at the same time,
but because Arsenal should have won the league, Salad. Spurs have had a better. That is what people are talking about, though.
People underestimate the Europa League. The Europa League is a massive trophy. And if Tottenham are able to win that, like, bro, that all is 25 years of none of that means anything because there's only 2 teams in England that have won the Europa League since it's been the Europa League. That's Man United and Chelsea. So it's like the Europa League is a massive trophy. I don't think Tottenham. I mean, I tweeted this the other day and people gave me shit for it. I was like Tottenham will look at this bracket and say there's no reason they shouldn't get to at least the final because if everyone's healthy and if they're playing well, Tottenham are better than all of these teams. Tottenham's players are like borderline Champions League quality. They should be beating all of these teams, but Tottenham might Tottenham. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You never know what you're going to get with them. Like they'll beat Man City 4-0 1 week and then Anderlecht will beat them 2-1 in some scrap. You never know with Tottenham, but if everything like in a vacuum, Tottenham should really win the Europa League. There's only one team that
I think 2 teams.
I think there's
Lazio and Bilbao. You have to consider Bilbao is playing at their home ground in the final. So if they do make it to the final,
I'm thinking. Obviously, Jose Mourinho's in the competition as well. He's got a pretty decent team too. I'm being serious. Like if you look
you
at,
do know they've got extremely hard running. They got like Roma in their next game.
Oh,
and then
bro, do you know what the crazy thing is? Mourinho could be going on a revenge tour every single game from now till the final. You know what I'm trying to say? He could play Roma in the next, like if he wins this game, which I think he will, play Roma in the quarterfinals. Then it could be Tottenham in the semifinals. Like he could go on a revenge tour the entire way from now till the final. And like Mourinho in Europe is in, and I feel like the moves they made in January are for them to compete in the Europa League. Like Filip Kostic, Milan Skriniar, Talisca, like these are all very positive moves and weaknesses they had at the start of the season. Because I've been watching Fenerbahce. I'm a big Mourinho fan. You don't know this. So I've watched quite a few Fenerbahce games, and they were missing extra firepower up front. They were missing someone on the left side because they got Osai Samuel on the right wing back, which he's been fantastic. So they were missing like a Filip Kostic, and they needed like an experienced centre back in Milan Skriniar, and they got that in. So they could really do some damage in the Europa League.
But that's the whole point about Spurs and just winning the Europa League and the whole Arsenal talk, because now we're seeing people saying that Arsenal next season is just going to be another season when they are third favourites behind Man City and Liverpool. I'm like, so there's no point of actually, like, you should try something else. Maybe you should buy.
I think it'll depend on our signings. It'll depend on our signings.
Yeah,
if we make
signings, you know who you're signing, right? You know who you're signing?
Yeah, I think we're signing Sesko, but if somehow we're signing... No, but see, even Sesko, as much as I don't like him, I don't know why people seen him that much, but if we sign Sesko and some... can't even name a world-class left winger that could potentially join us. But if we make like 2-3 major signings, I think that Sesko one could be like... Relax, please, bro. Come on, don't be silly. I don't know. Like if we make like 2-3 top quality signings, I think that might change people's perspective a little bit. I still don't think we'll win the league because I genuinely think City will come back strong next season. But yeah.
So all of this will be for nothing. You see that all of this challenge.
I'm not gonna lie. I think there's one signing. There's one signing that Arsenal can make.
It is for nothing. What is this? What is it? It is for nothing.
Yes, because guys, Arsenal fans, newsflash for you guys: the last 2 seasons have been exactly the same as watching our club finish 8th, get battered, lose 6-0, 5-0.
It's funny though, Ashraf.
You know
the biggest difference between that is.
I'm upset as well. I want to
Ashraf, let me just tell you. No, but let me tell you the only difference between those 2 seasons is, for one, yeah, you saw your team win more games, but they built you up with hope just to crush it back down. There isn't really, at least, no. At least when you were 8th and 10th, you accepted going into game. We're not that good. We're gonna lose games. You're just like, oh shit.
Every Arsenal fan who watched the team, then we would be watching games the way United fans are watching their club right now. Depressed, annoyed. Here we go again.
No, but you didn't let me. That's my point, though. They watch it and they know they're going to lose. They might be depressed because their team's not good, but they know.
Jordz, I'm telling you now.
But Ashraf, the difference now is you, and maybe not you because you've given up at this point, but many Arsenal fans are still brought into the fact that they can win the league. Guess what? There's nothing worse than that heartbreak at the end of the season when they realize it's gone.
Worse.
Yes, there is nothing worse.
I guarantee you finishing 8th is worse. Ask even the league gunner type of fans. Do you prefer being here? Do you prefer being 8th?
It's better to have no bitches than from the bad bitch. I'm just saying.
That's not Lee's answer. Lee's answer is he taking Carabao Cup over finishing.
That heartbreak's gonna hurt you more. Trust me. If you ain't there,
I'm saying finishing 8th and winning nothing versus finishing 2nd and winning nothing is not the same. You cannot be saying that. It's the reason why United fans won Cups last 2 seasons, and yet we were happier than them throughout the season. That means they must be stupid. Why were they upset? Be happy. Your club won cups. Move on. It doesn't work that way. Stop saying that.
I'm not gonna lie. I can relate to that. Listen, Napoli finished 10th last year, and it was one of the worst years of my life. Like this year, we're probably gonna miss out on the league to Inter, right?
No, it's not. You're fucking in the 2nd division. So have some shame on the core.
What? No, I'm saying in recent times, bro. Relax.
Oh, okay. It's only in recent times. Okay.
Like I'm talking about in the Serie A era. This was our worst year since coming. Calm down, bro. Relax. Let me land.
I'm just putting facts.
And I'm comparing the last 2 seasons, like literally this year and the year before. Like if we're probably going to lose out on the league, and it's probably going to go to the last day. I promise you, last year would hurt more because every single game was just heartbreak. At least now I go into games excited for games. We might not get the result, but it's like I enjoyed the experience. Like last year was just fun. Like it was bullshit. You feel me? And like I don't think anyone's just happy finishing 8th, man. You can't be, bro. You'd rather fight till the heartbreak will probably be worse. But you still got something to hold on to for next year and stuff. I don't know, man. It's a horrible feeling either way, man. Why can't we just
The
be
thing
Real
is
Madrid fans?
with this
Come on,
Arsenal
you know, bro,
conversation.
it must be nice being a Real Madrid fan, fam. Fuck.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah,
Yeah,
Real
rich
Madrid
people
fans are
problems for them. Anyway, let me just say this. Like this, the thing is with it, like listening to a conversation for the last 10 minutes. I'll be honest with you. I don't think had Arsenal signed Sesko in January, it would have made them like, wow, you're so much better because you have Sesko. Like I don't rate Sesko that highly. Like I think he's a potential striker. He could be amazing like 3 years from now, but he still needs a time to develop and shit. You know, someone will come tell me, of course he's better than Moreno. Yeah, maybe your benchmark can't be better than Moreno. If your benchmark is better than Moreno, sign Jean-Philippe Mateta. Yani sign anyone and it's better than Moreno. That's not how life works. That's not how football conversations work. Like the same for me in the summer. I don't want a striker just better than Nunez, because then I'll sign Jordz and he's better than Nunez. Who like what kind of benchmark is this? The benchmark needs to be actually someone who takes you over the line, someone who makes you better. So 2 years from now, Salah is not on a stream again making excuses saying, "Oh, Salah is a level above Sesko." Like we don't need that. You know, you need a player who can actually take you over the line, a player who can take you over the mountaintop. And to be honest, I actually think Watkins would have been better for Arsenal than Sesko now. He would have done. Like Watkins is an immediate solution, and he's going to be a top striker probably for the next 2-3 years, to be honest with you. The only thing is, like, as well for me, look, for Arsenal fans and the people who look forward to the summer, listen, I understand why you want to be excited and want to look forward to the summer. But at the same time, you need to be able to at least demand more. And you need to be able to demand something better for your club. I mean, I don't know how excited some Arsenal fans are going to be about signing Sesko and stuff, but as a rival, like in terms of like for the title and stuff, I wish nothing more that Arsenal go sign like a Sesko level player. I don't want them to go sign an Isak or like a Osimhen or someone at that level, because I know that he would give them a like an answer in the here and now. You know, and we were asked like, and the reason why like I don't feel bad for Arsenal is because they could have done this in the summer instead of. And once again, I'll say this again: no need to even talk about signing someone. Instead of getting Sterling on loan, you could have had Osimhen on loan. He's on loan to Galatasaray. Yani he would have not said no to a loan to Arsenal. He'd have joined, and he'd have been in a much better position right now with Osimhen up top than he would be with these players.
To be fair, the Osimhen situation is a little because the thing is they were waiting for him to leave on a permanent deal, and then after the deadline, only the Turkish window was open. So it was either sit on the bench for 6 months or sit in the stands for 6 months. So
I understand, but if you came to them on deadline day and you asked for a loan and you gave like a 5 million fee or something, it would have been accepted.
Not 100%. But I'm saying a loan just wasn't a thing until literally the window was closed. You know what I'm trying to say? So if imagine.
And the one thing I'll say is, like, as much as I understand what Salad's point, even though he is being shameless to discredit Liverpool, I'll say this: look, everything genuinely went Arsenal's way for the last 2 years. And the people on the stream will vouch, bro. Listen, they called me an Arsenal twerker because I was actually pulling for them. I hate Man City. I don't hate Arsenal. I have no problem with Arsenal. Yes, Igal is annoying. You know, yes, Salad is annoying. Yes, there's a couple of Arsenal fans who are irritating. But at the end of the day, stop it. Don't even go there. Don't even start.
What?
Let's not have this argument again. But yes, a couple of Arsenal fans are irritating, but it's not like I'm a Spurs fan or a Chelsea fan. I'm not, yahi. I support Liverpool. Wallahi, we are not rivals with Arsenal. Yahi. I don't give a fuck about Arsenal. They're not my rival. But the problem is, like, for 2 years, wallahi, everything went your way and you won nothing. Yahi, leave the season with a Carabao Cup. Yahi, leave the season with the FA Cup. Leave the season with the Europa. Yahi, win something. Yahi, do something to at least give your fans some form of belief, to give your players some form of, like, smelling blood, tasting the win of trophies and stuff like this. And I'll be honest with you, if I was in Arteta's place, I would have stuck to what got me 8 points ahead of Manchester City to begin with like 8 games to go, which is that attacking, sexy, beautiful football. And I think that would have gotten them over the line even last season. I'm being completely honest. I think the best version of Mikel Arteta we saw is that version pre-World Cup and post-World Cup, where they were just dominating the fuck out of teams. And you saw the best of Martinelli come out. You saw the best of Saka come out. You saw the best out of these players all come out. But I feel like Manchester City came to the Emirates. They beat Arsenal 4-1, the Kevin De Bruyne game, and khalas, he got scarred for life. Habibi, stick to what you believe in. Stick to your principle. Okay, Manchester City beat you. Yani, even if the season after you lost to Man City twice. And at the end of the day, by the way, you could still go to Man City and park the bus if need be. Yani yesterday, Slot, what did he do against Man City? Do we play sexy football? No, he didn't. But the rest of the games were there. We're there playing football, passing left, passing right, doing the beautiful game. But against City, we didn't. Adi, I accept it. If we go to the Bernabeu, we're going to be defensive. If we go to the Wanda Metropolitano, we're going to be defensive. Yani there are stuff I understand. But at the end of the day, Arteta just went against all his principles and morals from season 1 that made him a title challenger to begin with, that I think he should have stuck to. And had he stuck to those principles, a Calafiori wouldn't have been signed to begin with. And by the way, we saw examples of that Arteta this season. One game I always refer to, Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. He released the shackles. He said, guys, let's play football. And he put Gabriel and Saliba at halfway line. And they dealt with everything Nottingham Forest had to offer. And they slapped them. 3-0, by the way, the worst game Forest has had all year long. So Arsenal are capable. That's why I don't just go, oh, Kroenke out. Yeah, baby. First of all, hold certain individuals accountable. I'll talk about one guy in a second. Hold the manager accountable for his decisions as well. Talk about the board, I understand. And talk about individuals. Yahi, this is Odegaard's worst season I've seen in my life. This is worse than when he was 17. There was a moment in that West Ham game. If you're a club captain, if I'm in Arteta's place, and this is not all Arteta's fault, if I'm in Arteta's place, I'll take Odegaard in the dressing room and I will slap him. I'd slap him. I honestly would slap him. Ya Habibi, Trossard is running on the left-hand side. There is space to run into. And you go run to the right-hand side because you want to hide? What the fuck? What are you doing? Run in the space. Yahi, help out Trossard. Don't hide in games. I have no problem with a player taking 10 risks and it's not working, but don't be a player that hides. Yahi, he's hiding in games, Odegaard this season. It's the worst I've seen. Rice individual performances. He hasn't been like, he's had some really bad games this season, Declan Rice. Saliba, by the way, a lot of times this season has had bad performances covered up by Gabriel, who I think has been their best centre back this year. So there's a lot of things that you need to pick out. You can't just come here and tell me, I feel bad for Arteta, Kroenke's let him down in January. Yeah, it's a concoction of things why the reason Arsenal didn't win the league. It's not just one failure. They failed as an institution. Some players were fucking shit and they deserve to get cooked. The manager has had shit moments this season and he deserves to get cooked for that. And then come back and go like, okay, the board, you have let us down. I understand that. So that's the point.
I have to say something about this, to be honest. You know what the problem with all this Arsenal conversation?
Are you talking about this clip here? Sorry. Are you talking about the one where...
You can't play the clip. You can't play the clip on the screen. It will demonetize the screen.
Are you talking about the one where...
there is no other clip from when Odegaard hid.
Yeah, in the game. But I think people have completely misunderstood that clip because there's already someone running down that side. So he's trying to drag the defender and make a different run. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Nah.
I agree with that. If someone was running in the middle, then yes, that made sense. But because there was no one else running front, I think you should have continued running straight.
Man. It's so
but someone is already running that channel, though.
Who? No one is.
Look, Trossard's already in that channel. Look, Trossard's already in that channel, and the ball's played to Trossard. Where else can he go? He'll be running into Trossard.
No. Salad, if you watch it, Trossard is on the left. After Trossard gets the ball, when he was on the left, Odegaard had a run that he could have continued straight. He probably wouldn't have gone one-on-one on the goal.
You're talking about when Trossard gets the ball.
Yeah, after Trossard gets the ball. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Odegaard could have continued his run straight and got the through ball. Instead, I agree if he went to the right and someone else
it didn't make no sense to go around the defender.
I thought people had an issue with the initial, like, when the header was won.
No. After Trossard got the ball.
Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, I get, because he should be. Okay, I see it now. My bad.
Yeah. He lost his mind. He lost his mind.
That's the argument here. The problem is,
my mic.
When Arsenal finished last season second, a lot of... to be honest with you,
his mind, not your mic.
I thought he said he lost his mic.
No.
When Arsenal lost the league last season, it's the last point about Arsenal before moving on. When Arsenal lost the league last season, everyone went this season thinking that, Arsenal with this manager will win the league. There's a lot of people from the Arsenal fan base is now really, really happy with what Arteta is doing, and they go next season not thinking that Arsenal win the league. Genuinely don't think. This is what LB was talking about. The football
Mo. Yes. I don't even want to do a monologue. I'll just say just one. Bro, if Ashraf waits the next 2 months just to get Sesko in the summer, what's the fucking point? If he waits to get this back, I understand. but not Sesko. Yani don't come the summer. Husam, are Arsenal going to win the league next season because they signed Sesko? No, they're not.
No, they will not. No, they're not.
Just last thing, my overall point about Arsenal is the lack of attacking quality. If they can add, obviously it's very unlikely, right? But if they can add Alexander Isak, very unlikely. Don't kill me. I'm just saying, a player of that caliber, that is what makes them and takes them over the top. Because
but they won't.
I'm just
honestly
saying,
forget Isak, because I know Isak is unattainable for us. Even if we get
level, like they need to really go out.
I think we should
Osimhen or Gyökeres. If we get Osimhen or Gyökeres, we're good.
When you mentioned the likes of Leao and Williams, I don't think those players come transfer Arsenal from being where they are now into a much better club. Like those players,
I think Leao definitely,
as much as their all-round play will add to Arsenal's team, I think what that does, for one, it takes away what they're doing on the right-hand side, because the right-hand side is the most fluid side of Arsenal's team, and it's the most effective. You get the overlapping runs from Ben White as well as Saka, the way them two link up, that's where you get goals. If you now bring a player like Leao or Nico Williams, someone that likes the ball to feet, likes to get a lot of the ball, you're taking away from the right-hand side, and two, neither of those have high goal contributing numbers. They're
I've
not
got a solution for you, actually. There's a solution that's actually realistic that I just thought of. Ademola Lookman, he doesn't need much of the ball. He gets on the end of things. He's got a very good contribution.
You know what's funny about that? Arsenal fans turned their nose up at him, and in the summer last year, all of them said he's not good enough and he wouldn't start for them. I remember speaking to so many Arsenal fans that said Martinelli was better than Lookman because they've seen him at Fulham and Leicester. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Arsenal fans say they wouldn't, in a trade, it wouldn't be Martinelli plus money for Mbappe. I've seen some ridiculousness from that fan base. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've seen some craziness.
Yeah,
and
Liverpool
fans are the ones. I defend the fan base. If I'm trying to say, for me, I'm just talking about what they need. They need good quality output. They need a game changer. Yeah. You feel me? And they don't have that outside of Saka. So if they can add that,
you guys wouldn't know the problem with Arsenal.
I just want to say this last thing more, please. The reason why I want someone like Leao, wallahi, outside the fact that he's dribbling, amazing, all that kind of stuff, he can take on players, he likes to do something. Genuinely, I want a player who comes to the club and says, I am not effing tracking back every single 2 minutes. Because the way this guy plays, unfortunately, as much as I rate him as a good manager, our players freaking run as if they're like running a marathon. Hop, run, hop, run, hop, run, hop, run. Every single time we get the ball, Partey gets the ball, looks, okay, where am I going to play it forward? Havertz right next to him. Oh, Saka's on my right. Oh, Martinelli's on my left. We need players who are like, I'm going to freaking stay forward. Pass me the damn ball, I'm going to initiate counterattacks. And this is why I don't want these kind of players when you find the winger and you ask, hey, what is this winger's best attribute? His off-the-ball work is amazing. That's immediate red flag for me. That's an immediate red flag for me. When you call Kai Havertz the best defensive striker in the world, immediate red flag for me. I don't want to know anything about him. Right? And that's why I'm saying we need wingers who come into the
But Saka tracks back and Martinelli tracks back.
Yeah, exactly. At least with Saka, yes, while he does that work, because he's at such a top level, he also contributes forward.
Yes,
so Saka doesn't let it affect his output. But majority of players will. That's why the next player that comes in, I want a player.
You know, if Saka played for Slots Liverpool this season, he wouldn't ask him to track back.
At all.
Bro, with all due respect, listen. Salah, you want to know who Salah? I'll tell you who Salah individual. See how many times who Salah tracked back against this season. Real Madrid, Manchester City home and away. Khalas, done. 3 games track back. The rest, Habibi, Allah, defend by yourself. You never ask. Yeah, Habibi, did you ever see Real Madrid ask Ronaldo to track back? Did you see Barcelona ask Messi to track back? Messi and Ronaldo are the GOATs, of course. But I'm saying just in terms of best player in your team. You get me? Like, well, I like, you know, like Hazard didn't track back for Chelsea, Habibi. Ronaldo didn't track back for Man United.
Salah doesn't track back that much for Liverpool either. Every counter-attack, Liverpool wins
yeah, that's why I only mentioned 3 times.
Long ball Salah.
Yeah, that's why I only mentioned 3 times. And it's against the top clubs like Man City, Real Madrid. I think he did it a bit against Arsenal.
You know what the problem is? The more you guys talk, you bring up this super
more it's Arteta's fault.
Exactly. So it's not about fucking Sesko or Gyökeres or whoever. As Jack here is saying, Arteta's tactics are fucking shit.
Why? Like,
I'm gonna tell you why I'm red.
Why are you
because we had this argument,
down, bro. Like, it's not even, we're not even talking about your team. It's just a regular conversation.
But Arsenal ruined fucking content for everyone. They ruined the conversation for the rest of the season.
All right, bro.
No, I hear your point, honestly. Yeah, I hear your point.
Here's the point. Arteta's tactics are fucking shit, no striker ups. We keep talking and we bring it back to Jordz, Husam, Ashraf, even Arsenal. Like, but Arteta's tactics are not good enough. And then we say, but if the son is striker in the league, both things cannot be right. You get my point? Like, if you say, let me finish that point. Let me finish that example. If Jurgen Klopp's tactics are fantastic, but he's missing that one player or something that will help him win the league, you'll say, yes, Klopp is amazing or Pep is amazing.
If we had Mateta last year, we win the league. End of.
Done. End of. See that? The problem is we keep talking and talking and we bring it back to Arteta regressed massively tactically. Regressed tactically massively, as everyone is saying. And then we say, give him another striker, win the league. Based on what? That doesn't make any sense.
Before I step out real quick, the lack of quality is probably the reason you regress. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Before you scrub up your face. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a Juve fan, and I was like, it makes no sense why Juve are so bad because they've got good quality players, right? And he was saying the moment Motta or a moment you don't have your first choice centre backs, you need to start defending as a team. So everything else kind of takes a hit. So the fact that Arsenal don't have these quality attacking options means he needs to try win games in a different way, whether it's parking the bus and scoring the counter attack. So the players at your disposal are the reasons.
But Salah, this is where I think the point gets contradicted, and because Olu mentioned this in the comments as well about it's a balancing act. You have to do this. First of all, 2 seasons ago that wasn't the case because we had actually, in my opinion, worse players and we were attacking really well. Now, even if people want to come out and say, yeah, but teams got teams.
I think that's because
but
there was no pressure on that team.
No, but here's the thing as well. You know how people say we have the best centre-back pairing in the world or one of the best centre-back pairings in the world. We have an amazing pivot in front of them with Rice and Partey. We have a fantastic right-back defending right-back in Timber, and obviously Lewis Kelly's been doing amazing. And I agree with all these points. Isn't that all the more reason why you should play a lot more expansive and attacking? Because that means you should trust these top-quality players to defend these counterattacks. Liverpool and City over the last few years have left themselves exposed many times to counterattacks, but they trust their individuals to deal with those counterattacks because that's why they pay the big bucks. If what we're saying over the last 4-5 years is we have invested heavy in our defensive midfield positions and our goalkeeping positions and our centre-back and right-back and left-back positions, then we should be able to trust them to deal with some counterattacks and commit more people forward and commit more players to attack and open up the games a lot more. And the games... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Ashraf, the one thing I would agree with Mohammed on is with regards to, I generally think the 2 seasons ago when you guys had that season and there was no pressure on you, I thought Arteta probably expected those players to have similar seasons proceeding on with that. He thought Martinelli would have a 10 to 15 goal season the next 2 years potentially. Or Odegaard would have a 10 or 15 goal season because these guys put up high numbers. None of your players across the last 2 years.
But they didn't last season, so why didn't he correct it?
That's my point, though. They didn't last year, and that's where it started to go wrong. Because then this summer it wasn't addressed, and then that's where the confusion lies with a lot of people.
I'll tell you guys honestly, and Allah, I'll end on this. Havertz scammed the living hell out of Arteta last year, genuinely, because the moment he switched to striker, he started getting mad numbers, which are actually the numbers I would expect from my striker. If you look at his numbers from Jan till end of season, and I think that in Arteta's head was like, you know what? Screw all the top quality strikers. Let's get someone like Sesko who can be an understudy to Havertz, and we'll rotate between the two. And if needed, I'll start both. I'll start Havertz in the 8. I think that Havertz thing really scammed the living hell out of Arteta and everyone else in the team. It's crazy.
Yo, I need to go pray real quick. One of my friends sent me a DM defending Arteta on YouTube like your life depends on it. You're killing me. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. Is the craziest part. Like. Anyway,
AK saying that guard of honor at Anfield will be the end. You know, that will be the second guard of honor from Arsenal to Liverpool.
Bro, just don't give them a guard of honor. I don't get it. What's the rule that says you have to give someone a guard of honor?
I don't know. Sam can answer this.
It's not mandatory, right?
Do they have to? I don't know.
That's not mandatory. No.
Look at this classless in defeat. Mohamed Salah. He hates Liverpool so much he doesn't want a guard of honor. You have to give a guard of honor.
I think it's part in the name. It's honor in it.
No team in Premier League history has refused to give guard.
Yeah, if you refuse to do it, and then when you win it, and people start refusing to do it for you, then
this is game week. When is our match? Game week 36.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means if you're
basically
okay,
that's okay.
So that means if you should be more than 9 points ahead of us. Inshallah, no. Inshallah. Inshallah. We lose the league.
You realize that
Lose it by
picture
80.
will
It's
live
only
forever.
one more point than now. If
Like
if
the
you
Van
win your
Persie
game in
one.
hand.
It's never gonna end. When is it gonna
Lose
end?
it by
Robbie?
lose it by 8 points. It's fine. Let's lose the league by 8 points.
Guys, we cannot have 300 votes on the poll and not 300 likes. Can we get to 400 likes live, guys? Hit that like button, people. Subscribe if you're new. Couple of super chats to do. George here is saying, Inshallah, Mikel Arteta walks in the end of the season. So maybe this
Never gonna
idiotic
happen. He's
fan
the second
base
or third
will
highest.
wake up to the Kroenke's cancer of this club. They have showed this pattern before him. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but
So stupid. So this guy's saying basically it's not on Arteta, it's on the board. Like I don't get these idiotic people. How about you go do your protest? Oh, Kroenke out, Kroenke out, Kroenke out, and then Kroenke leaves, and then some guy called I don't know Warren Buffett or Elon Musk comes and buys the club and says, you know what? Actually, let's just break down the club. Let's strip the club because in the end, the only reason Kroenkes have to sell the club is if someone gives them the money they need. Right? So don't make it seem like, oh, the Kroenkes will leave and I will take over the club. George Graham, 89, is going to be running the club and saying, hey, I want Mbappe, I want Vinny Jr., $500 million. I don't give a shit where the club goes. And 2 days, the club is shut down. Like, stop being stupid. The Kroenkes have spent money over the last 5 years. Like, that's such an idiotic
Guys, I'm
game.
gonna first of all make sure guys are liking, as Mo said. I'm gonna snitch on Ashraf. I'm gonna snitch on Ashraf because I was watching Saad Football Corner yesterday.
When you had the thing with Souls. Yeah.
And you know what Ashraf said? Last time we faced Real Madrid, we beat them. Never say never. It's our last hope in the Champions League. Ashraf
Hey,
deep down
we're the
believes that
only
they
club-
can win the
Wait, are we the
UEFA
only-
Champions League.
Are we
Don't
the
say
only
only.
English club?
I'm here. Don't ever say only.
So
when I'm
what?
here.
No,
To
to
beat
beat
Real
them,
Madrid?
beat them at the Bernabeu.
Nah, we
Yeah, we beat them 1-0 at the Bernabeu.
Fair. I didn't know that.
No, neither.
No, wait, City won as well, no?
So you're not the only
Okay.
club, mate.
Okay, yeah. We're the only club to knock them out of the Bernabeu. Actually, City did that.
That's also no, because we also knocked them out, mate. 5-0
I mean,
on aggregate.
you knocked them out like God knows. They were crap when you knocked them out, bro.
08-09, they weren't crap. They were La Liga champions. They were.
No, they weren't. 08-09, Barcelona, Guardiola won the treble.
They were reigning champions, Habib, of La Liga. They had a very good
yeah,
team.
but
on the league.
they went shit the next season, bro. They finished way behind Real Madrid, Barcelona.
No, they didn't go shit. They had a very good team with Schuster at the time.
No, they had Van de Vaart and Dead Robin, who was not making it there, and Huntelaar and all these guys. Come on.
Yeah, Huntelaar, Robin, Raul, Gonzalez Blanco, Sergio Ramos.
Raul also was at the end of his
Iker
career. Then he
Casillas
was
was the best
Definitely
keeper
one
on
of
the
worst
planet at the
formative
time.
Teams, Husam, man, we're not doing that. 2010 and that, like, bro.
No, not 2010. It wasn't 2010. It was 08-09.
08-09.
Yeah, like, I mean, those years though, like, just prior to that, Real Madrid wasn't great. Like, they
No,
fell
Real
off.
Madrid was still Real Madrid. Whether you
Nah,
like
they
it or
fell
not.
off, man.
Habibi, they were getting knocked out of the round of 16 every single season until Mourinho
Until
came. and saved
Mourinho
them.
came. Facts, yeah. until
Every
Mourinho
single
came, they were
season
cooked.
they were out of the round of 16.
Okay, so you're strengthening my
From the
point.
time they
'cause
won it.
When did Arsenal knock them out? 2006. They were getting
Yeah,
knocked
but
out
when
of the
we
round
knocked them
16
out,
every single year.
That
when
was
we knocked them
Galacticos
out-
time, like the end of the Galacticos.
Look at this fraud. You're talking. Ronaldo was fat at the time. Don't talk to me about no Galacticos. Stop it. Figo was 38. George, don't do Arsenal prop just to spite Liverpool.
I'm not even
Relax.
doing
He
Arsenal
wasn't-
prop.
he
I'm
wasn't
just
that
generally
fat.
thinking
He
of
wasn't
like,
that
I
fat.
remember
Come on,
from
guys.
my childhood, Real Madrid are like 06 to 011, 012. They wasn't like, they weren't popping like that. They just had good
Yeah,
players.
they actually weren't. You're right. Yeah. Even 06 when we beat them, they weren't that.
Yeah, exactly.
that
So
level.
sit this one out, mate.
Yeah, I was just being shameless.
I think Arsenal.
So Ashraf thinks Arsenal can win the Champions League. Your thoughts, panel? please?
100%. I think
What
we'll
do you
slap
mean?
up Real
Yeah,
Wait,
Madrid.
what do you mean 100?
Home
What do
and
you mean
away.
100%?
He's joking,
Guys,
huh?
it's a joke, guys. I said they will beat
Why
us
are you
home
saying
and
it's a
away.
joke? I will share screen.
Share the video. Share the whole video. Before and after. Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
it is though.
Before
You know
and
what it is?
after.
I've always said that this Arsenal team, how they're playing, are more conducive to win a cup competition like the Champions League than the Premier
Yeah,
League.
that's what Mo has been telling us for the last 20
swear.
second months.
Ashraf,
and we
can
have
you
knocked-
stop? Can you stop interrupting Salad, please? Let him cook.
And
Go
we
ahead,
got
Salad. Cook.
knocked out of
No,
every damn cup.
they're not gonna
Go
win
ahead,
it.
Salad. Cook.
They're not gonna win it. I'm just saying the way they're set up defensively, they're just more conducive to win than to like sustain it over a whole season. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The same way Antonio Conte is more conducive to winning a league title than he is to win a cup competition.
But he's
The thing
right
is,
though. Salad is right though.
Like different teams and setups are better.
Yeah,
at
but
different
here's the problem though. That was only the case. That was only the case in September when Saka was firing, and some of the players were coming clutch. Not today, Salah.
Yeah,
not
no,
with Moreno
I
up
agree.
top. Not with Odegaard dropping stinkers.
And that's why I said they have been. You know what I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about just generally the way they've been set up over the last 18 months. Like scoring, like for example, a game that comes to mind is Liverpool at home a couple of years ago, in January last year, when Konate got a red card and Havertz was running them ragged. Like that's the kind of performance you can do over 2 legs in a Champions League tie.
No, but see, guys, this is why that's false. Because when we play cup competition, for whatever reason, the pressure is different there. You know, the biggest example to what you just said, Salad. We beat Liverpool 3-1, absolutely dominated them, wiped the floor with them that day. 2 weeks before that, we lost to them at the same ground. 2 weeks ago, we lost to them the same ground at home to a worse team, 2-0 in the FA Cup. Right? This is the same. City as well. City, like, who knocked us out of the FA Cup the year before? City, 1-0. But the thing is with the league, right? I think the way he sets up against the big teams, because it's not a cup competition, it's not the same level of pressure. Versus, like, you know how they say we have the best record against the big 6 in the Premier League, but in the FA Cup and the League Cup, it's not the same. Last couple of years, we've been knocked out by United, we've been knocked out by Liverpool, we've been knocked out by City, we've been knocked out by Liverpool, I think twice, if I'm not wrong, even though these are cup competitions. And Champions League, even if we make it past PSV, bro, if we face Atletico or Real Madrid, I don't think our players are ready for that kind of test. I don't think they're ready for those kind of mind games.
Atletico Madrid, bro. Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, you know.
This could be the year that Atletico Madrid really do it, you know, Simeone. Like, they've been so close over the last decade, losing in 2 finals, semi-finals. I think this could be the, like, if they get through Real Madrid, I don't see anyone else. I think they could be the favorites in every other game, bro. If they get, and they've beaten Real Madrid this year, like, they've had a very good game.
Not against Liverpool. Not against Liverpool. Not against Real Madrid.
Okay, Liverpool, no, I'm saying they can have a chance against.
They can, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're a good enough team, especially.
Can I ask you something? Do Arsenal have a chance in your mind?
Against who?
Just in that bracket, fucking bracket. Liverpool, PSG.
Of course not.
Okay.
Not the way they
established that.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you had asked me.
No, you believe you're a favorite on the other side. Let me guess.
Us and Barcelona, yes.
Yeah, them and Barcelona. And
I don't think you even get past.
They're going to be in the final. I think Inter Milan are going to be in the final.
If we face Barcelona,
sorry. I don't think you get past the quarterfinals
against Bayer Leverkusen or Bayern Munich.
Or Bayern
playing the second leg at home.
Yeah.
You see the difference? It's
an
absolute
where was the second leg against Atletico Madrid last season? Home or away?
In their ground, Habibi, and we lost by penalties. We're a very resilient team.
I have an unpopular opinion. I think Inter will beat Bayern
as well. Like,
I think Inter beat Bayern, but I think Inter might find it difficult against Bayer Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen is a tougher game for Inter, because if they come up against Bayern Munich, it will work into their hands.
Yes.
Like Bayern Munich, they will eat them alive. Inter Milan will beat Bayern Munich. I'm telling everyone right now.
Wait, why do you say they'll beat Bayern Munich? Is it because of company or because of
the style, the way
they play?
Yeah,
sometimes they played them 2 seasons ago. They beat them home and away.
Yeah, Habibi, basically, Vincent Kompany is a shit Pep Guardiola. Basically, that's what it is.
And listen, the style plays into their hands. The way that Xabi Alonso plays does not play into Inter's hands at all. The way that he plays football, with the whole 5 at the back, Frimpong right wing back, blah blah blah, all the stuff that he's doing. It's almost like it makes Inter's job a lot more difficult.
We struggle against
Bayern. All Inter have to do is just go to Bayern Munich, stop Sané and a couple of guys from scoring a goal.
And the thing is, Inter Milan are the best counter-attacking team in the world as well. Like, Vincent Kompany has no other way to play than everyone in the half. Kim's been terrible. Upamecano in the big games is terrible. Bro, Barella, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, you find Thuram and Dumfries and DeMarco. Bro, it's game. Like, they will.
You want to know what's funny about Upamecano?
I genuinely think
they'll do the same thing to Barcelona as well, because Barcelona also like to press high. I think they'll pick Barcelona apart, in my opinion.
Actually, no. The way Barcelona play this season, they are so adaptable. I've seen him against Real Madrid fucking park the bus. Bro, Hansi Flick is he's a fox, bro. The guy parked the bus against Real Madrid and played counter-attack long ball. And Real Madrid like, what the fuck is happening?
Can I just say one thing about Upamecano?
Let me just he played a highlight. He caught them offside 11 times. It was a record in the La Liga.
No, there was the other game that you're talking about, the Super Cup with Mbappe. I'm talking about in the league. All their goals were
No,
against
the
the high line of Real Madrid.
the offsides were
The
in the league.
offside game
not
was in the
Super
league.
Cup.
Was in the league.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the other way around. But
You want to know what's funny about like Upamecano? He would have a really decent season, and then with the one game where the whole world is watching,
Wallahi, I've tweeted that every single year, bro. It's crazy.
he's not even bad, you know. But like the one
Bro,
game where
wallahi,
everyone is
it's
watching, he
crazy.
becomes shit every single time, you know.
I generally think this is a
It's always
classic
that one game.
why is Jordz not joining us? It's like, what is wrong, Jordz?
Yo.
Champions League
It's always
football.
like
Because he's in the Europa League, mate, and he
Yeah,
ain't gonna
maybe
win that
this
either.
guy spent a lot of time in the Champions League. They're the finalists.
in 2019.
You know, Tottenham have got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League more times than AC Milan in the last 10 years. Team heritage and Team Champions League. Just to let that out.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe in this heritage crap. I think it depends on like the team and the experience and the quality.
Apart from Real Madrid, it's a bit different.
Even Real Madrid, bro. Real Madrid lost 5-0 to Liverpool because their players were crap. Like, let's be honest. If you take United right now, the United players, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and all these guys, maybe Casemiro because he was there before. If you put them, no, but I'm saying if you take all the United players and you put a Real Madrid jersey on them and you play them in the Santiago Bernabeu, they still lose 6-0 every game. They don't suddenly go like, Hala Madrid, we will beat every team. They will still lose, bro. I think the heritage only applies if your team is good enough.
It depends because
100%.
now you because I mean what I saw is Dani Ceballos looking a lot better than Odegaard did, and that was Odegaard's replacement for you, man. Dani Ceballos is looking rather comfy in that Real Madrid team, and it doesn't look like he's going to get displaced.
This is the same Dani Ceballos that everyone wanted out in the summer, so your point is flawed. A lot of Real Madrid fans
does he not look good in the Real Madrid team right now? Is he not playing
yes,
great?
yes, because he improved his performances.
He's starting, and yes, it was started
Jordz
because of injuries, but he's now holding his place in the team because he's performing.
Jordz, how long has he been at Real Madrid for? Since he left off?
Years.
And he hasn't been killing it. He hasn't been starting. These guys haven't been singing his name. He's only really picked it up in the last couple of months. That's okay. That has nothing to do with, like they just play because of Real Madrid. He had quality. He just never showed it, and he's showing it now. But my point is, if this is a bad Real Madrid, the heritage is not coming to play at all.
That go there and like
no heritage in the knockout stages. Heritage comes to play with Real Madrid.
Tell me one bad Real Madrid team that won the Champions League by heritage, and they had bad players.
Wasn't there like a 16
hold on, just 2 years ago. Hold on. Just 2 years ago, they were second best against Chelsea, second best against PSG, second best against Man City, and they fucking won it at the end. Second best against Liverpool.
I'll repeat my question because
Sam, do you remember that fucking Champions League when you were better than them?
Mo never answers your question directly. By the way,
I'll repeat my question because Mo didn't understand it. Name the last time Real Madrid won the Champions League when they didn't have good players, or they had bad players, or they had players that were not world class or at a high level. Name one. 08, 09, I'll give it to you. They didn't win the Champions League. They got slapped up 5-0. When they won the Champions League in 2022, the PSG, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool run, they had Benzema, one of the best strikers in the world. Modric was still performing at a high level, not just for Real Madrid, even for Croatia. Kroos, one of the best center mids in the world. I know Casemiro's garbage now, but at that time, he was one of the best DMs. They had a fantastic defense. Alaba, who joined them from Bayern Munich at his peak. Vinny Jr. playing at a massive level. Rodrigo, yes, he was young, but massive young potential. They didn't have a garbage team. We were just underestimating them because we were hyping up City and Liverpool so much in the Champions League. Madrid were always Madrid because
they were factually better. Real Madrid were the Real Madrid were the second best team on the pitch.
Maybe you understand.
Yeah, Chelsea were the best team against Barcelona in 09. But that's
okay. The whole point is, if Ashraf is saying name the last time Real Madrid,
coming from a different voice or a different accent.
No, hold on.
The question he asked was, name me a time Real Madrid won the Champions League with a bad team or not good players. Arabi, maybe would that help?
Let me explain to you.
He's not saying that Liverpool weren't.
The fact that you're saying good, the fact that you're saying good players means you think they are better than the others, right? The fact that they were second best against these old teams, that means their players during that competition were not better than the rest. They just had clutch moments. But overall in the game, the other teams were better than them.
I disagree. The Chelsea game, wait, because everyone talks about the second Chelsea game. Who was the better team in the first Chelsea game? The one they lost 3-2 at the Stamford Bridge.
Why did you ignore PSG, Man City, and Liverpool? Why did you ignore these three games?
Because wait. See how Mo does this. You started with Chelsea. You said they were second best against Chelsea. So I'm starting with Chelsea. The first game at the Stamford Bridge, who was the better team? It's like the Inter Milan Barcelona in 2010 when everyone says, "Oh, Inter Milan was so lucky. You know, they parked the bus and Barcelona just couldn't score a second goal." But nobody talks about the first leg when Inter Milan slapped them up 3-1 at the San Siro, that they could go to the second leg and play that kind of way. It's the same with the Chelsea.
But over the 2 legs, I thought Chelsea were the better team, in my opinion. Maybe in the first game, I agree with you. Maybe in the first game, Real Madrid were better. In the second leg, I thought Chelsea were better.
In the second leg, Chelsea were better, but the first leg, Madrid already did their job. And when Chelsea came back, Madrid's players showed the quality to come back in the game and win it again. PSG, I agree with PSG.
That's heritage.
I think PSG is the only team actually that season that dominated Madrid for 150 minutes. And then one mistake by Donnarumma brought Real Madrid back.
So why do you think if you face Liverpool in the league, you're better than them? Or what if you face Liverpool in the Champions League? Why do you look better than you? Don't you think that is heritage and experience?
Wait, you're saying about Arsenal or who?
Arsenal, yeah.
I don't. If we play Liverpool in the Champions League, I think it'll be the same as the Premier League. I think it depends who shows up that day. Liverpool are a better team than us this season, so I think they'll beat us the same way how they've been better than the Premier League.
I believe in Champions League. To be honest with you, I'm a believer in the Champions League experience. Okay, George just responded to you, so Ashraf, so you need to respond to him. We got a Kroenke sympathizers. They have spent in line with the top 6. It's the bare minimum after neglecting us the decade before. They will hire Cesc next. I'll look forward to your defense then.
For starters, they have spent. The team that's winning the league this season is Liverpool. Arsenal have outspent them by far over the last 4 years. So that's absolute BS, because if I look at the team that's winning the league, we have actually outspent them. Secondly, if you just look at the reports of the last few years, Mikel Arteta initially wanted Mudryk. Shakhtar asked for more money. The Kroenkes came out, we're going to put him that money. And Arteta then later came and said, actually, you know what? He's not worth it. I understand in hindsight now, it looks like it is the correct decision. The point is they were willing to back him. Everyone could see how this guy was a flop at Chelsea, Havertz. And yet they went and spent 65 million and made him one of the highest paid players in the club because Arteta wanted him. This BS about him not backing him is absolutely false. It's not there. There is no owner that operates better than what our current owners do outside the Sheikhs and outside Abramovich. And we don't have those, unfortunately. And obviously Florentino Perez, but that's a whole different ballgame there.
To be fair, though, to be fair, one thing, this January, they didn't back him. This January and kind of this summer as well, because we all knew at the start of the season the same thing we're all saying now. Arsenal are a piece away, a striker away, attacker away, and there's no way in hell that Arteta went into that both windows, especially now with all of these injuries. By the way, there's no way Arteta didn't want some sort of attacking depth in this January transfer window. So maybe
the reality is that he started the January. He started the January transfer window by talking about how he has to find internal solutions. He only started talking about getting players and being thin after the injuries to Gabriel Jesus and I think Jesus mainly, because then that added to the pile. In the summer, he had an option to let go of Jesus. He didn't. He saw he had a very good preseason. He kept him. And obviously, he wanted to continue with Havertz. That's what I'm saying. I want to see this summer what happens for me to evaluate based on that, because there is a very high chance, if you go by like what David Ornstein and all these guys are saying, that he has unchecked power at the club and all that kind of stuff. There's a very good chance that they told him this is the budget for the next 2-3 years, and he decided to spend it that way. Now in the summer, we'll get to see if he really wants Sesko and they get him Sesko. They cannot complain then.
I don't doubt that he has unchecked power at the club, because that's how these owners operate in all of their sports. They'll find a good young coach that they believe in, and they will back him to the hills. And we've seen that. Like, I mean, I don't believe that he's not been backed. I'm saying this window, maybe financially, they probably couldn't get it done, but they found a good young coach. And as you said, Ashraf, very eloquently at the start, the 4 years, he's shown massive growth. He's taken Arsenal from a team that was finishing 8. Like, anyone with common sense can see that. So they've also see that. And maybe he's not winning the Premier League, maybe he's not getting over the top, but he's shown some sort of talent as a coach. They've seen that. They know that. So they're going to make him the cornerstone of the club, and they're going to back him 100%. So every time I see people talk about, get him out of my club, he needs, bro, listen, don't waste your energy. He's not going anywhere.
He's not going to leave. They did trust him, definitely.
Unless something goes like horribly wrong, where they finish outside of the top 4 and players start revolting and this horrible stuff, or fans decide we're not buying tickets to games anymore, It's not happening. And one thing I've noticed going to games in general, not just Arsenal games, is the attitude of fans that go to games is very different to the attitude of fans that are on the internet that we see, right?
Not any time.
So many times. It is every fan base is like
recently. Not
every
recently.
single fan base is like that. Because even
not
because what you have to remember, Husam, is the season ticket holders are made up of people that have been going for 20 years.
Liverpool fans were flying banners outside the stadium because you know what, adding some money to give a lot, man. Fan bases are different, man. All fan bases online.
Can I hear what Jordz wants to say? Or Sam, can I hear what Jordz wants to say?
No.
I was just saying very briefly that like Mohammed's right, because when you talk about these fans that are going to these are fans that have been going to their club. They've got to have a season ticket. You go on a waiting list, and then when you get one, majority of season tickets holders don't give up their season ticket, because once you're there, you're there. The only reason you give it up is for a very good reason, which usually is if they fell out of love with the club, which most fans don't. But if you've got to the point of buying a season ticket, these guys have been watching their club for 20, maybe 25 years. A lot of the time, might have been passed through their like from their dad to their son and so on. So there is a very different thought processing for these fans. These fans go there to just for one have a day out to be happy.
Before Sam comes in, and even when they do give it up, they're not giving it up. They're just selling the ticket. You know what I'm trying to say? They're just selling the ticket to like a tourist that wants to go. So the stadium will always be packed. The stadium will always.
By the way, these guys will not come on AFTV and stuff. That's why we don't think they exist, because they don't show up on AFTV. They don't show up on the podcast.
This we don't get.
Because they hate that stuff.
Like us. They
hate that exactly.
They hate fans that are online.
And do you know one thing that I noticed which was crazy? I went to Old Trafford.
Different in Italy though. It's so different in other leagues. Like when Inter lose, I went to the stadium. I'm sorry, I went to the stadium. It's a different
culture. Look, Turkish is an example of someone in our space.
That's bullshit. Is that? I've been to Inter games, Salad, when Inter were not winning. Fucking kicked a fuss when we drew to Palermo 1-1 in the first game of the season. They fucking were booing the team. First game of the season, the Ultras were booing the team. First game,
bro. I went to a Napoli game last year when we were doing terribly, right?
Okay, so
I went to a Napoli game last year, and you know I sit in Curva B Superiore with the ultras, right? And the first 25 minutes of the game, we didn't go into the stadium. I didn't want to do that because I took a flight to go there. I wanted to go to the game, but like I didn't want to get fucked up at the same time. So we didn't go into the stadium for the first 20 minutes because that was it was a Curva B protest. You feel me? So it's a different culture completely. But in the bro, last year I went to Old Trafford a few times when Ten Hag was horrible, right? And the general consensus you get from the fans there, they were like, give him more time. We've got some injuries. Like they're on a completely different vibe to what we see on these people that are trying to get a clip on no context football. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
And that's why
Arsenal. Okay, let me say something. First of all, Turkish is someone who
Liverpool are different, yeah?
I know what he's going to say about Turkish leaving the season ticket. I saw that yesterday.
See, you guys jump after 2 words. Turkish is someone who's a content creator in this space. He gave up a season ticket in protest of the Cronkies. There are people who are on this platform who I've watched on multiple different channels, who have been season ticket holders, who have been going to the game for 40 years, 30 years, who also come on this platform and say that they want Arteta gone. And the reason why I'm saying is I think this season, Salad, what you're saying applies to last year. This season, there is quite a few people who have turned on the manager. Even people that we know that go to games regularly. I can give you a perfect example. And me and Mo were speaking about this yesterday. Dan Potts. Someone who goes to the game, someone who's not like an overall negative Arsenal fan or any of that. Like even this season he's gone like, yo, Arteta's not good enough. We need trophies and it's time for him to go. There are many fans who are like that now. And I think this season has turned a lot of fans on the manager. And the reason why this season has turned quite a few of them, and it's not like 90% of the Emirates, but at least 25%, 30% of the Emirates have turned on him, which isn't like last year or the year before. Now, the reason why I say that is because I think fans of Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool are willing to accept boring, shit, negative, crap football if it leads to winning. If it doesn't lead to winning, now we have war. That's the reality of the situation. And a lot of interviews I've seen, like even with the likes of Lee Judges, who's a game goer and stuff, saying, I'm going to the Arsenal games and I'm not even getting entertained. I'm just bored to death. And these are small things that will eventually pile on and pile on and pile on, and then they will eventually turn.
I feel like this whole fan going to the stadium thing kind of overvalued my point. I'm saying just the way KSC work, Arteta's not going anywhere until something drastic happens. And like,
I agree.
The whole fan thing wasn't like, I wasn't going to talk about fans going.
Salad, I'll be honest with you. You're arguing something else. If you're looking at the Kroenkes thing, I will agree with you 100%.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Arteta can get third, forget second for the next 10 years, and they're not sacking him.
No, I agree. Okay, maybe not for the next 10 years, but
I don't agree with that. I don't.
But like,
you don't agree with that?
Arteta has a longer leash than.
You really think American owners give a fuck about winning a Premier League? No, they don't. No,
I think these guys want to win. I think they just don't know how to get there.
If you offer John W. Henry,
when you went 10 years without a trophy under Wenger, and you guys literally didn't do anything apart from
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you offer Avram Glazer, Josh
spend that kind of money,
and John W. Henry right now, top 4 for the next 10 years without winning a single thing, they'd all shake your hand.
But you know,
I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you if we were spending like FSG. Then I'd say yes, they are spending like that. They don't care. But the kind of money they spent with Arteta, they've never spent money like that with any other manager.
Did they not take a step back this year for that exact reason, though, Ashraf? I know obviously PSR and all these other things, but just because they thought, we're spending like a big club, but we've got to a certain position. They've
like we're in the UCL now.
Why do we need to spend more? We're here now. And then that's why they took the step back. Now it will prove you, like I said, this summer, if they do go and show ambition, because and some fans are convinced that, Arteta's been holding a budget, he's been waiting till the summer. But then if they don't go out there and spend loads of money, and they do keep it a very restricted budget, 150, then it shows you that they are happy with just being a top 4 club and being almost there, being the nearly guys. Because
this summer's going to tell us a lot about what their ambitions are and things like that. This summer's going to tell us a lot.
But the thing is with that, even Salad, is I'll be honest. This was the conversation this time last year. We were told last summer, this is the chance. Arsenal will do this summer. They're going to jump.
To be fair, something that you said, I think a lot of Premier League teams were restricted this year because of PSR. Like a lot of Premier League teams. Like the only Premier League team that really strengthened this year was Aston Villa, but that's because they sold Musa Diop for 60 million.
But I'm going to push back on this. They brought Moreno. They brought Calafiori. They literally bid for Cisco, and he decided to stay. So the money was there for them to go and say, if you don't want to join our club, we're going to go spend it on someone else to get us over the line. But they never did, which tells me this whole thing is a scam. It's a project. It's a project. We'll only get the player we want to build because the value will go up and it will get the fans behind the team and all the stuff. Because they could have taken Cisco's money and go spend it somewhere else. Get another striker. Who cares who the striker is? It's just another guy. They didn't want to. Why? Because it's all about one thing. We need to get the players we think they're right for the project. Because it's a project. It's not about winning today. If Arsenal are about winning today, you'd have been to plan B, as Ash said. Plan B right away. Anybody, bro. Duran. Amoridi. Anybody. It's not our job. They could have got another striker.
Garnacho. Rashford.
They didn't want to. But listen, people.
I don't understand why you didn't go for Rashford on loan, especially considering the situation.
In hindsight now, I can see it. At that time, even I said that would be a bad move. But in hindsight now, he's
bro, as soon as they decided that Rashford was leaving, I was like, this makes so much. And because my initial thing was, I know Husam said you don't want it to be just better than the guy that's there. Like when he said Nunes, you don't want someone that's just better than Nunes. You don't want that to be the bar. But my thing was, he's a significant upgrade on Martinelli straight away.
I'm going to give you the last statement that a lot of Arsenal fans said.
Habibi, ya Salad, haram عليك. You're very intelligent, ya akhi. You know that this is the most bullshit remark to make, which is upgrade on Martinelli. Because upgrade on Martinelli is
I literally just said, do you close your ears? I literally just said, I know.
No, don't close my ears. Your first statement is, I know Husam said they shouldn't just upgrade on what they have. Yeah, but that's the main point there. Because I don't want an upgrade on Nunez.
My God. This is why I don't like interacting with these people. English is not your first language. I'm saying if that's the only option.
What?
I'm trying to say, if that's the only option, why not do it? You feel me?
They speak English better than most people. Come on.
Hey, that was a good. Salad's killing me today.
Like, because I literally made the point. I was like, listen, I know it's not ideal.
The thing is, I think people watching probably don't know that Salad and Husam know each other for ages.
Oh, yeah, I've known it for years.
They probably think, who's this guy coming and digging Husam like that? And he doesn't even know Husam. But yeah, they used to be on Spaces all the time. But yeah. No, I swear to God, I'm surprised by how he's playing. I'm not going to lie. Asensio and Rashford would have actually helped us tremendously.
Well, I'm going to back Husam with the last thing, right? A lot of Arsenal fans.
For an hour and a half, you know.
a lot of Arsenal fans said one thing.
Crazy.
If we're gonna overspend for anyone in this January, and it's gonna hold us back from getting the players we want in the summer, we don't want anyone. That's what they said, and that shows you.
I will tell you this. Wallahi, if we spend money on get Isak in the summer, I will say whatever happened in January, forgiven. I see the vision now. You saved every single penny.
And if you don't,
or if we get Gyökeres, I will also accept that. But Isak for me, I think if we get Isak, I think I don't want to say we become favorites because I still have to see what City do.
Favorites.
But that puts us on a different level, honestly.
That's a game changer.
That puts us on a different level.
Isak is a game changer.
I think he's the best striker in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the only issue with Isak is this is the only year we've seen him be healthy.
Is he better than Mbappe in your opinion?
Mbappe's not a striker.
I don't count Mbappe as. Obviously, Mbappe is the best in the world, but outside your Mbappe, the freak, I'd say Isak is number one.
I think it
doesn't matter as long as you upgrade on Havertz. That's what matters.
That's it.
Not
anyway,
English, Habibi.
Allah. Anyway, guys, I want to appreciate everyone that joined us. An hour and a half is enough of this. Salah, Husam, Mo, Jordz, Ash show. Appreciate everyone that joined us, guys. We're 10 likes away from 300.
We're talking about Arsenal, that's it.
What do you want to talk about?
We said Spurs will win Europa League, which I don't see happening.
No, wallahi, we've literally, and even Spurs winning, that was in context having a better season than Arsenal. We've spoken about nothing but to Arsenal. You're chill, bro.
Hey, listen, we had a hot topic. We had a hot topic.
Go ahead. Celebrity salad. Go ahead, run the show. Run the show.
You know the craziest thing is?
I thought we were going to
talk about my name is Mohammed Salad. I was on FIFA World Cup TV. You get me. Make sure you guys are following him on Twitter. You get me.
You know the crazy
he was
thing
the presenter and host.
35 minutes ago, I said, be right back. I'm going to go pray. Judge Mo replied in the private chat, Salad, go pray. We're going to talk about Afcon. We came back.
I was waiting to talk about Afcon too.
Honestly, same.
5 minutes. We spoke about more.
Talk. Go
ahead. Someone in the comments said,
I just wanted the topic to change.
Talking less. I'm like,
go ahead.
Bro, listen, it's not my channel. It's not my topic. I just want.
No. It is your. Wallahi, into your brother. It is your channel as well. Go ahead.
I appreciate
guys,
that,
it is gonna be heated, by the way. Keep in mind.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about how much we hate Liverpool. What are you saying?
No, go ahead, talk about Afcon.
I generally think it should be a topic.
Go ahead, talk about Afcon. Talk about Afcon.
I feel like you should because you made a very good point, and I think it was quite. I think the view, it was a good point. We were speaking about before we started the stream. I think you should make that point, and then we build up from there. Because I think it was a really good point that you made.
Do you agree that Afcon is being, what is it called, undervalued as the Asian Cup as well, of nations as well, in comparison with UEFA, the Euros and the Copa America?
So
do you think they hold less weight than the Euros and the Copa America?
I got asked to make a video for this on a platform that I do podcasts with, right? And what I said was, it's crazy that it's 2025 and we're still talking about the value and the importance of the African Cup of Nations, especially considering how arguably the best player in the world now is African. How in your Premier League, if you look at the last...
Did Salah just say this? Subhanallah.
Yeah, he's the best player in the world at the current moment. Salah,
Not Salah prop. It just happens that he fits this agenda at this present moment.
Facts.
Like in the Premier League, bro, do you know the crazy thing? In the last 15 years, there have been more African PFA Player of the Year winners than English in your Premier League. And the fact that people still devalue it is crazy to me. And the fact that people value the Copa America more than Afcon is insane to me, because the Copa America has nothing on Afcon. Did you know in the last 30 years?
Oh, come on, Salad.
What?
Wallahi, we were going so well this whole season.
I was gonna say you're going so well. That statement just threw it off.
Which statement?
Yeah,
Copa
bro.
America,
Honestly.
bro, did you know in the last 25 Copa Americas, there's been 2 finals that didn't have either Brazil or Argentina? A tournament that is won by one of 2 teams almost every single year is nowhere near competitive. If you want to, what we can do is we can make an African 11 and a South American 11, and you can see how close those teams are and the quality of teams. In my opinion, forget the top. I think the depth of African football is so much better. Like Bolivia will get smoked by Burkina Faso and Mali, if we're being honest. If you follow African football,
I don't think they would.
I think like I agree with what you're saying there. I think there's probably more
South America
nations
has, like,
in
3 good
Africa
teams, by the way.
that are at a
Sorry?
decent level.
4 or 5, Husam,
No,
including
there's
Colombia.
only
Colombia.
Brazil,
But-
Argentina,
Colo-
and
No,
Uruguay.
but
Okay,
I think why
Brazil,
you're-
Argentina,
Argentina,
Uruguay,
Brazil,
Colombia.
Colombia.
No, bro,
Colombia.
Colombia will get slapped up by Senegal and Morocco. Let's
Ecuador are crap.
They will.
Peru are
Ecuador are
crap.
crap.
Bolivia are crap. Who
Yes.
else then?
Bro,
Ma
you're
خلاص,
thinking
that's literally 1/3
No,
of
no,
Afcon
but-
is shit.
No, but I think what his point necessarily, which you are making a good point, is it's not as competitive, nowhere near as competitive. I think but that's because the level of Argentina and Brazil players of one of the best in world football. They are literally the two. They produce two of the best players in world football consistently across the last 50 years. So it's hard to look at any other nation.
Bro, it's a tournament that has 10 teams in it. Brazil's on one side, Argentina's on the other side. They just got to play the other teams, and like it's set up for them to be in the final every single year. You can't tell me that's a serious tournament.
But they haven't played in the finals the last 6-7 tournaments. It's only once that they've played each other.
They haven't played each other in the final, but one of them
Yeah.
has been in the final in the last 7 tournaments. They played each other 2 years ago in the final, the year where Messi won it over the year that Neymar went crazy. Right, that was I think 2021 or 2.
I think it's 20.
Yeah. So
It was the year just before the
solid,
World
but
Cup.
that only talks
Chile are
about
shit
like
right now, by the way, as well.
Sorry?
No Vidal, no Sanchez, no Gary Medel. That days is done.
And
Chile
even-
are shit as well.
Even Brazil.
Literally
are
50% of Copa America is
right
crap.
now.
By the way, you want to know one of the reasons why they added USA, Canada, and like Mexico and shit?
Make it more
Because they're
competitive.
fucking shit. That's why. Copa America, as much as, listen, Messi is my GOAT, but I didn't need him to win Copa America to say he's the GOAT, because
Yeah.
Copa America, in my opinion, right now lacks severe entertainment value, except when it comes to like Argentina versus Uruguay, Brazil
Bro,
versus Colombia. Other
Guys,
than that, it's like
even the
literally
level
like,
that Brazil's at
wow,
right now.
Brazil versus Ecuador, Argentina versus Peru. Amazing game. No, it's not. It's fucking awful. It's dog shit. If you ever actually see it.
Husam, look at the quality of
So it's the
Brazil
Afcon
now
of
as
the
well. Like even Brazil has fallen off a
Habibi, if
cliff.
you make African 11 right now, they're better than South American 11. Just
No,
so you know.
That was the
Yes,
first
it
thing.
is.
Whoa,
Yes,
whoa,
it
whoa,
is.
whoa. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Give me.
Bad
Okay,
mind.
I'll give
I
you my front
No,
three.
it's
I'll
not,
give you my front
bro.
three. Give me your front three. I'll give you my front three. I've got Salah on the right, Osimhen in the middle, Lookman on the left. Who's South
right
American
now?
front three? Right now.
Right now?
Right now. Yeah, right now.
All right.
Vinny on the left, Rafinha on the right side.
And you
Okay.
put
And
Lautaro in the
Rodrigo.
middle. We can go
I'll
Lautaro
play
in the middle.
Lautaro, whoever, yeah.
Have you seen Vinicius for
Wait,
Brazil, by the way?
Mo, how do you feel about
Doesn't
Lautaro?
matter. He didn't say that. Have you seen Salah for
Dog
Egypt,
shit.
guys?
I've seen what Mo says about
Have you seen
Lautaro.
Salah for Egypt, guys?
Yeah,
Oh,
Egypt's
dangerous
all-time top goal
conversations.
scorer.
Oh,
Got them to two
Dangerous
finals.
conversations. 2 AFCON finals, and he bottled both. One of them, and then he was playing better than him. Let's not do that crap. We're talking about the player in general. Vinny Jr., Rafinha, and yeah, I would go with Lautaro Martinez. I'm trying to think of South American strikers,
the
but
point is, even if
Lautaro
you
Martinez.
even if you can say they're slightly better, the point that we're making is it's very, very close. If you make an African 11, a South American 11, it's very, very close. And then
Midfield.
you
Who would
the
go in
teams,
midfield?
But then,
And then you-
but doing
and
that
then you go
11
down the
make-
teams, and you get to like Bolivia, and then you compare it to Cameroon or Ivory Coast, and it's just insane, like the depth there is in.
But isn't the
Yeah,
Look,
but you know,
problem-
Salad, you know where your argument falls, though. You know where your argument falls, because you're talking about the competitiveness between teams. But if we let's say which league is stronger, is it La Liga or is it I don't know, let's say the Russian league, if there are 7 teams competing for it? Nobody will say the Russian league, right? We understand there's more competition in AFCON in the sense that there isn't a clear
you're missing my
dominant
point.
team.
I'm not saying there's more competition. I'm saying if you go down the list of teams, and
You're
you
saying
and
the floor
you
floor
compare-
is higher than
yeah, exactly.
than
So the
of
floor, I mean, the ceiling
I
is probably higher.
disagree.
No, bro, what teams in Africa, bro? Morocco.
I think if you take the
Algeria,
top 6 teams,
You watch AFCON,
think
you
if-
see some of the worst football sometimes going on.
Yeah,
like
no,
the,
okay,
Yeah,
I'll tell
come
you
on,
the
bro.
lows.
they don't
The lows
produce
in AFCON.
goalkeepers. Black
The lows in
goalkeepers,
AFCON are very, very low. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But the middle
Yeah,
of
yeah,
AFCON destroys the middle of what's it called? South
Yeah.
America. Destroys it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you know
think
the
it's
problem
close.
is it's not even.
What is
a
the wait? What is the
comparable-
middle of
but
South
hold on,
America?
hold
I'm
on,
curious,
but
because
hold
there's
on,
only 10
hold
of
on,
them.
hold on, hold on. The problem is the top is 8 World Cups versus 0.
That's true.
That
That's
is the
true, but
problem.
That's because
The problem is 8 World Cup winners have been Brazil and Argentina. Actually, not 8.
No, it's 10, 10, 10, 10.
Including Uruguay. 10
Yeah.
versus 0, Salah. And that is the problem. The top of Copa America. A lot of people will tune in just to watch Messi, Ronaldinho back in the day,
I mean, to be
R9,
fair, we'd have a lot more African
Vinny
Cup of Nations. I mean,
Jr.
to be fair, we've got a couple as
Yeah,
well.
but one of the most watched Afcon finals was like Mane versus Salah. So now
That's
what?
actually, I want you to compare
But
that.
that's
to
also
Copa
because
America's.
of them playing for
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Okay.
That's
Guys,
it.
right now, as things stand, you look at the Copa America, right? Literally
Mhm.
50% or more of the teams are crap, with all due respect. Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, all those teams. They don't have significant world-class players. Colombia, I know, are having a very good run and stuff, but it's like Yerry Mina and Luis Diaz. James Rodriguez is about 48 years old. He's still playing. Like, we're not... I don't look at the Copa America anymore and go like, back in the day when it was like, you know, really competitive, 7-8 really good teams and anyone could win it like 15 years ago. The days of like Colaccini and Juan Pablo Sorin and Riquelme and shit. We used to watch it, and very entertaining, unbelievably good football and stuff like this. As things stand right now, I'll be honest with you, any team coming up against Brazil and Argentina 90% of the time is going to park the bus or play defensive football and try to hit on the counter-attack. It's nowhere near as any entertainment value as before. Some of the teams on paper are nowhere near. Like, even, I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, we all knew one Peruvian player, Jefferson Farfan. Who knows one Peruvian player right now? Who knows one Bolivian player right now?
You could do the same for so many African nations, though. But I think that, again, that's besides the point. I think the biggest problem, and
Outside salad, can someone name an Ivorian player? An Ivorian player. Can anyone name?
This is the
Outside salad.
Sebastian Haller. Sebastian Haller.
Bro.
No, the biggest problem is that the majority, the best players that would be playing in AFCON aren't playing for their AFCON nations. That is the biggest issue here. The biggest issue is they get picked up and they're more than likely to play for an England, a France, a Germany, or another nation where they may reside in or they've resided in from a younger age rather than go for their heritage. There's players, look, I understand that makes sense and I haven't got a problem with it as a fan, but my point is that the level of AFCON is always going to stay at a certain point until all of these players start to go to their natural nations and then they go, yes, I want to go play for my home nation. There's a lot of big players that lead the way and go make that decision, but they take too long. You just have to look at Ademola Lookman, for example. He made the decision to go to Nigeria after he realized he's not going to get the chance in England. And that is the problem. They make the AFCON choice the second choice rather than the first choice.
Yeah, but if you're good enough to play for your country that you're born in Europe, why would you play for your African country that you were not born in?
Bro, I was born in England and I hate this country. I don't. What's your
yeah, but they don't hate the country, right?
Obviously, Ashraf, that depends on, I suppose, how they're brought up and so on, because you can still be brought up in another country but still have a culture of your home country. Like,
and
yeah, I understand, but a lot of these players will also say, I wouldn't have gotten this.
Khaled always has existential points. Like, I'm born here and I hate this country. Like, it's just like he's questioning it.
If you look at the two leading countries in Africa, like by the teams that are setting the way, and to be fair, Egypt as well, but Senegal,
Egypt as well. We're the biggest country in terms of have some shame and decorum.
What point am I making? Okay, finish my point. What point was I going to say? What point was I going to say?
Is this?
No. Finish my point.
Mo, you don't even know what he's good.
What was I going to say?
He means the teams now, Mo. I think that's what he was referring to.
No. Mo, finish my point. What was I going to say? Please finish my point.
I'm not. But you said the two leading teams, and you said and Egypt as well. What does that mean?
Currently. And I was going to get to it.
Exactly.
Currently.
Morocco and Senegal.
The two teams that are currently leading the way in Africa are Senegal and Morocco and Egypt to an extent. And all of them, they keep their players. Like, if you look at it, the two teams, the three countries that keep the majority of their players and their players don't go play elsewhere are Morocco, Senegal, and Egypt. And those are the three most successful nations currently. And if you look at the best league in Africa, it's the Egyptian league. That's why Egypt are always a very successful team. You feel me? So going back to the brother's point, Africans need to stay in Africa for our competition to be taken more seriously. But going back to the initial point, there's no reason that the Copa America should be held to a higher standard than AFCON.
You don't know Jordz?
That's it.
Fucking up.
What?
Let me give you a problem that happened in 2002. Senegal before they get what's his name? Yes. Do you know there is the guy Bruno Mitsu who went to Europe and actually
he was the manager of Al Ain as well.
He was the manager of UAE and he won the
and by the way, just for people that don't know, that's the story that was told. I was living in Egypt at that time.
Wait. Ayo, red line of Taranga. Say Wallahi Hassan Diop chose to play for Senegal instead, because I was tweeting at literally the whole time, the commentary the other day when Napoli were playing against Como, it was like, oh, Spanish international, Spanish international. And I was like,
let me, Redline Taranga can correct me that he's Senegalese as well. Bruno Metsu went to Europe, collected the whole team that went and destroyed France in the World Cup, that went to the quarterfinal. These players, before Bruno Metsu went and spoke with every one of them, they weren't even in the contention to play for the Senegalese team. They weren't even like African Cup of Nations or not African. And that's what Salah is saying. These players needed to pay attention to their African origins to go and play for them. Before that, this is why Egypt dominated. Here is what happened. That is what happened now.
To play for Morocco then?
I don't know.
If Sad is watching, he'll be crying right now.
I don't know. I remember.
Guys, does that mean Zidane should have played for Algeria?
I just have to say
when
something.
He was born in France, when he developed his game in France, when he got trained by the French, when he got coached by the French, when he grew up and he adapted his whole life there. And people can say that's probably the reason why he got to that level. Yes, he had his own innate talent, but he sharpened that talent growing and playing in France. Maybe if he grew up and played in Algeria, he wouldn't have been as good. So you have to credit the country there as well. I'm African. I would love if Lamine Yamal plays for Morocco.
But even when you're crediting the country, it doesn't mean that like you have to go play for them, because you can credit most of these guys, especially when you're a talented youngster and you're going in these other countries, you do know that a lot of them get picked up at 14, 15 to go play for their countries. So like, let's just say an Algerian kid or a Moroccan kid, even though they're in another country, at a young age, they will get the chance and offer to try and play for their national team, their home.
Yeah, but if they're playing for their other national team in that country where they grew up in, and again, we're not talking about people who have disassociation with the country they're growing up in. For players like Bukayo Saka and all these guys, I don't think they look at England like, man, I don't even know why I'm here. They probably look at it as, yeah, I am from here. This is my country. This is my city. I don't think they look at it as
the reality check.
Maybe I get what you mean, but I don't think they look at it in that way.
They're African. The second they mess about, they're African. Like it's just.
Yeah, but those are idiots.
And it's the reality of the situation. It's the reality of the situation.
Same for Ozil in Germany, bro. Are we gonna forget? We're gonna fucking forget, bro. Are we gonna forget?
But I'm saying the minority idiots should not.
And this is how I feel in it, and this is why I'm so passionate about this. No matter what I achieve, no matter what I do in this country, I will never be English. No matter what happens. I can marry an English girl, have an English, like a half English kid. I will never be English. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's how all of these guys are. You can play for the national team. You can put your hand on your chest and think, God save the king, all of that. You will never be English. It's just it's just the fact of the matter.
We'll see. We'll see about this thing. I hope that Salah wins Ballon d'Or to just shut everyone up, to be honest with you guys. Baleba and Minty are African too, for your information. Thank you, Jeriak.
Yeah, isn't Mente from Gambia?
How shameful. Salah carried Egypt. What did Vinny do? That's why Salah is better than Vinny Jr.
Egypt where? Where did he
carry Africa?
Yeah, Habibi, ya Ashraf.
For someone like you to say this.
Yani if it's someone named John who has nothing clue about it, ya Habibi, the Egyptian league was cancelled for 4 fucking years. This is the worst generation of Egyptians, by the way, like ever. None of them would start for the all-time.
He played 2 finals. He played 2 finals. And he didn't perform in either one of them.
Salah scored 2 open. The first African Cup of Nations final, Salah scored 2 goals from open play, and he wasn't that great. And I watched every single game of that tournament. So the idea of carrying is crazy, because it was the defense and the goalkeeper Gabaski, and you know what I'm trying to say, that carry.
Yeah, Egypt didn't deserve to win that Afcon. Senegal were favorites, and the favorites won.
And they were much.
What about the one before that? What about the one
Egypt
before that?
Egypt literally wanted to fucking scam their way to a thing with the penalty shootouts. Did you see what they did against Senegal? يعني انت اشرف يعني you want to do context for everyone except the conversation that you don't like. يا حبيبي ما they put Salah
I love Mohamed
يا حبيبي they put يا حبيبي Cooper put Salah at halfway line and was playing long ball from the first minute of the tournament. يا اخي that we can never win the tournament. Stop.
Anyway, tell us about South Africa, Ash.
Bro, you know if we play you now, we will slap you up.
Can I make a point real quick about South Africa? Listen, you know when these European teams are going to realize that Africa is elite, when the Club World Cup happens and the Mamelodi Sundowns are slapping up some of these European teams, that's when people will know that Africa is a serious tournament. When Al Ahly from Egypt are beating some of these European teams, wallahi, that's when people will know. When ES Tunis and Wydad Casablanca are showing levels to these teams in Europe, that's when people will see, bro. I'm so excited for that tournament, bro. So excited.
I know Arabic isn't your language, but it's not Wydad. It's Wydad. It's Wydad. It's we dad, not why dad.
He's
I know
so
Arabic is
excited.
your language.
He's
You know,
so
speaking
excited.
languages. We dad,
He's so
we dad.
excited. Anyway,
Not why dad.
big up people that are here. Hit that like button before you go, guys. Appreciate everyone that super chatted the channel, like the video. Durak Dar is in the description. Ashraf Talks Ball in the description. Muhammad Salah on Twitter and all platforms. Of course, Muhammad Salah does all the. He hosts World Cup stuff as well. So you guys, if you guys want to connect with a celebrity, it's Muhammad Salah, of course. He's the only celebrity here. Don Husam, this is going to take you to his watch along for Chelsea Southampton. I dare you to lose Chelsea. I dare you to lose.
99% Chelsea win, 1% Southampton draw. If that happens,
we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys. We're out of here, people.